how you avoid that 9 a.m. sales meeting?
By doing this.
No, let me repeat because we were all. You know how you avoid the 9 a.m. sales meeting?
How?
When your train breaks down and stacks. And I love people. They A to point B.
Yep.
But today.
How long were you there?
Stopped?
Yes.
47 minutes.
Oh.
But I got a lot of work done.
Do you chat up the fellow commuters?
No,
I don't see him chatting up.
No.
He's in the zone.
So
right ear is my AirPod, which is playing music. My left ear is this that plugs into the laptop so I can do work. I can,
multitasking.
I'm multi-eared.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah,
You have Vincent Van Gogh over there with just one.
So now I'm trying to see here. Did something actually happen to the train?
Yeah.
Or was Chris trying
Something
to
on the
avoid
track.
the sales meeting?
Oh, a heist would be great. What was it? Just because sometimes there's debris.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just
No, this
breaks,
I believe
guess.
was something on the motor.
Oh, okay.
The locomotive.
Did anybody else see Mission Impossible Fallout, the most recent one? Or Dead Reckoning,
Missed it.
part 1. So what's funny is I haven't seen it either, but I did see it on the plane because someone in front of me was watching it. And that's all I needed to do was see that big, long train sequence. I didn't hear dialogue because all it is just fighting on top of a train. It looks
And
really
stuff
cool.
blowing up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's why Top Gun Maverick's awesome.
To see Emily last week. She was in Virginia,
She was.
in her native land.
She was. Made it back with an
Virginia's for
interesting
lovers.
movie choice companion next to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, after having the old lady with the charcuterie board on your way out. She had an
I
interesting
feel like
trip.
she always has kind of some interesting stories that come out of
Because
nowhere.
I judge people.
That's the most fun part of any trip,
That
is
could
judging
be.
everybody
I make
that's
harsh,
there.
decisions about the people around me, and I expect that they are doing the same about me.
Is it your trip there or your trip back that you have coming up for the Christmas season that has like 19 stops on the
Well,
way?
you're spoiling the Factor Cat that I have coming.
Factor Cap.
That's
Van.
fact.
But
fact.
it's going to DC. Though.
Okay, going to.
I'm out, guys. It's over.
Did you bring a talk?
I didn't, but Emily brought food today, so she bailed out the group.
But
She
in the
made-
Wookiee promo, you're talking about the ham. I got
meant
hungry.
to. I meant to. I should. It's still plenty left. Would you like tomorrow? You're still here.
I long
Tomorrow. Slee, you're
Bring the ham.
responsible for
Bring the ham.
sending me the ham.
Yeah.
You had your torch snuffed last night.
Whoa. It's
done.
honestly.
Yeah, it's
Whoa.
done.
Easy now.
It's Survivor. It's Survivor talk.
Could I tell you something?
Sweet, how often do you get your torch snuffed?
So
This is a new bit that I wasn't expecting
Survivor.
it. It wasn't planned. Get your torch snuffed
Get
with
your-
Travis and
yeah.
Sliwa.
Yeah.
Weekdays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
I survived. How many weeks was it? 12?
This was week 12.
The bye 13. Okay, I
The tribe has
survived.
spoken.
Of the Survivor, me and Juan were the last two that were left. Do you know how I found out? This is how uninterested is not the right word, because once you did the calculations, I became interested. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was a calculation for this thing. So now there's,
You started spending the money a little bit.
the interest was there.
Yeah.
Well, first off, Sunday, I was following the wrong game. I thought I picked the Titans. Titans played Carolina, so I'm following that
picked the
game.
Titans.
Of course I should have. 17-10, and then I find out later in the day when I look, I'm like, well, how many people are out? No, Al, you got a Monday night game. You're with Minnesota. Yesterday, I'm watching the Laker game, whatever, all that stuff. I'm not paying any attention to a Monday night football game. I actually forgot about the Monday. Yes, it was a busy day. But right by the time we finished, you're starting all the stuff, so I was doing whatever I was doing. I don't even know that Minnesota lost the Monday night football game until I go on Twitter and I just see all these Emily's.
snuffings.
Yep, Emily's on there, and there's
It's a very specific site.
there's listeners on there sending stuff about Survivor. That's when I put the piece together. I'm like, Minnesota didn't lose to Chicago, right? No, Minnesota lost.
And Chicago didn't even score a touchdown.
No, but they
covered.
Josh Dobbs threw 4 interceptions,
That's
which is
probably not
a
good.
problem.
Maybe you shouldn't do that.
Josh Dobbs went from, hey, why didn't everybody else go get Josh Dobbs too? He's probably fired by the end of the day today. That's how quickly that happened.
Okay, so 4 people out this week, which means Juan is still in it with 3 other people. 4 people total.
I believe that's the spot where you can cut it. You can, if everybody agrees, you can hack it and everybody gets a quarter of the pot.
But why would you do that?
Because a quarter's better than nothing?
I guess.
Yeah, you would go for
But
it.
everybody, you
obviously.
said everybody has to agree.
Let it ride.
All 4, everybody
Have to
that's
agree.
left, and let's say
It's not going to happen. I think there's going to be one person like you. Like,
nobody
no, I'm
agreed.
Right in this thing
I kept agreeing to it last year until finally we all lost on the same Sunday.
And by
that
rules,
by
it had
rule,
to-
it gets
Yeah.
cut.
By the way, Jorge, try to find the Survivor theme song from like season 1.
I can find
Emily's got it.
Because that was the only
I've
season
recently.
I ever watched.
That was the
I didn't see
Richard.
it.
the gay the guy that kept.
No, you were right before.
Was he gay?
Yes.
Oh, the gay guy that.
Because he put that out there a lot, and it kind of annoyed people.
Oh, okay. But
You know,
he was like
he would just let it.
He
just let it
cracked the
hang around.
game.
You know
Like
what I'm saying, Slee?
Everybody else thought it was like a game show, and he was like doing Machiavellian strategies.
Yeah.
Like he was taking people
But
out.
he also
Well, that's
Did he
what
win?
it's supposed to be.
Yeah, he won.
You're supposed
$1 million
to be
bucks.
Machiavellian. You're
And then-
supposed
Man,
to do
give the
that.
man some
was
credit then.
That was the season with Elizabeth too. I believe.
Yeah, Hasselbeck.
Hasselbeck
Yeah,
became
yeah.
Hasselbeck out of that.
That's right.
But so there's this thing going on TikTok. It's like, what could you talk about for 45 minutes without stopping? And one of them for me is Survivor.
Listen to Lakers talk tonight at 7.
Keep
I
going.
could talk about Survivor
I
for
go a lot
45
longer than
minutes
that.
without stopping, without a break. I also could do.
I didn't know you loved Survivor like
I
this.
love Survivor.
You're new to this. This is a relatively new passion
It
of
started
yours.
this summer,
Yeah.
and I've watched probably 20 seasons.
Wow.
At this
How many
point.
seasons are there?
There's 45. 45 is airing right now. And
stop for a
I was
second?
actually listening to a podcast on the ride in. The pod has spoken. So I was listening to a
since
Survivor pod
this
on the way in.
summer,
Yeah.
you've got 20 seasons in.
How many
Yeah,
episodes are in a
sickness.
season?
Sorry?
How many episodes in a
Like
season?
10.
That's why her
TV.
movie number was so low.
It's only 60. It's only 60.
That's quality work.
A lot of TV.
That's a lot of
Do they still
Survivor.
eat bugs and stuff?
So the new era, if we're gonna get into this, new
new
era
era.
post season 40. No, they do not eat bugs. They don't have home visits. They actually shortened it to 21 days instead of 39 days. There's
Yeah.
a big difference.
Wow.
Anyway, so
They're free-range bugs.
I actually might go to a Survivor watch party in LA for the finale for this season. I'm excited.
Like with people you've met because of this fandom?
No,
or
I,
like,
I have two
No, we're
friends
broadcasting
that
for
like
her.
Survivor.
Hey, listen.
And then they have bars that are Survivor bars. They put it on the TV. They have the subtitles on, and everyone reacts and stuff. And it seems really fun.
give us an Ethernet thing, an Ethernet port. We'll plug right in.
I'll do it. I'll
Here's
do
the
a
funny thing.
remote.
That's not a terrible idea. Like those who are big fans of
Go there
that
for 20
show,
years.
to go to a bar and just say, "Yeah, I'm going to watch it with other people and drink." It's not
Don't
awful.
you want to hear it though?
Yes, no, you can hear it.
You
They
can hear
put
it?
it on the speakers, and they put the
wouldn't wanna miss any of
subtitles,
the-
and everybody's really quiet.
Twists and turns.
Travis, there are a lot of twists and turns. That's the
I
point of the
understand.
show.
I think
Nothing
if we
but
did-
twists and turns.
I feel like we've done this bit already over the years, but if we did Survivor 7-10, we know who's winning.
I know you think you would win.
I will 100%
We're
win.
getting you out so quickly.
But the rest of
You're a
they're
threat.
called the tribe, right?
Yes,
the rest
they're
of the
two
tribe would
tribes.
conspire to take you out.
I'll stab you off.
But you can't stab everybody.
okay,
You might get a
Chris.
few. But you can't get everybody.
As
Based
someone-
off of your explanation, you might be the first one out.
That's what I'm saying. Like this is what was his name? Richard? The
Yes.
first guy. This is what Richard understood.
And I'll do the same bit.
he realized, okay, threat over here, threat over there. I
Yep.
need to get these guys out first. The rest of these people are sheep. I can just steamroll
The only
them
one I'm
afterwards.
concerned about, the only one, is Emily.
Okay, so here's why
Emily's a trained
one.
assassin.
My friends really want me to do Survivor, and I don't think I could
Like,
do
actually
the
do
outdoor
the show?
I couldn't do the outdoor time. But who is actually going to win this game if we did it for 7-10? Sleep, 100%. One, you're athletic. You're athletic enough that
Okay,
you're not
athletic is
hey,
a very strong word. Go ahead.
Oh, I like
you've-
that move. That was an
you've-
amazing move.
You've won a
Did
lot.
she just shush you?
I love it.
Well, the fact that it was
Let
a
me-
compliment
let
of
me-
athletic, I'm down
Let's
to be
pull-
quiet. Go ahead and give me whatever you
Social
want.
team, let's pull that and put that in the Mandy's folder, please.
But you're athletic, but not in a way that like people will pick you out of the lineup right away that you're the most athletic, but you are sneaky athletic, and I think that you would be good at that. Two, you can sell yourself really well. I think that you're good at
You can?
you can talk to different types of people. You can get on people's good sides all across the office. I think you are generally liked by everybody.
Hey, mates.
But I also think that you do think a couple steps ahead, and I think that you could be someone who's sneaky, does a lot of the work behind the scenes. So that's
He's
why I
He's
think
encouraging me here.
He is sneaky.
You would be the
Encouraging
There's
me.
no doubt about that. He is sneaky.
Very
I think that
sneaky.
you would be the best. I
Very.
think I'd come out too strong, which is obviously I think not a surprise to anybody. But
Chris,
I think
this
that
is
would
why
work.
you didn't help yourself.
Why?
Because you came right out the gate saying, "Oh, I'm going to freaking win."
Well, what else
you
would
put
I
a
say?
target on your
You
back.
have
What
to
else
win
would
some
I-
You
athletic
put, but you
stuff,
put a target
Chris.
back or a target right on your back.
That's kind of what I do.
Chris, you have to do some feats of. You have to win these travel competitions. So
Like what?
What are the competitions?
So a lot of the times later on, it's like a lot of balancing. It's a lot of holding up these like discs and making
Have
sure.
you seen me do the pony?
I don't know if there's a pony element.
Oh, there should. There should.
Yeah, the other week they had to hold a rope out and not let it drop and whatever. It's a lot of stuff that can be won by either a man or a woman. So there's not necessarily strength is the thing. Yeah.
I can hold the rope. I've been holding the rope in this place for years.
I was waiting. Honestly, I was a little disappointed it took you that
Nobody's
long
done.
to get there.
Nobody's held Travis's rope more in his life than me.
Leave my rope out. No, I was
Okay.
going to say something.
Say,
Houston, Santa Monica,
Let it out.
downtown LA.
Santa Monica?
Well, Yahoo. I mean, we were there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anaheim.
Anaheim for sure.
I've been all over that rope, homeboy.
That was not a good time for the rope.
Specifically, Anthony Rincon, who tweeted out at you like that you got out of Survivor. I loved that Survivor contestant who was using that GIF, and I was like, got me in my feels, and love Matt.
lost all that money yesterday.
Oh no.
Well, not really. You never really had
By the way,
it.
have the Lakers survived Philadelphia?
Lost
Did
all
they get to the
that
play-in
money.
after that?
Only
Why
lost
did-
by 44.
Isn't there? Shouldn't they
It
be
was a
like,
historic night in the city of brotherly love.
Do you remember when I think you said like after Dodgers eliminated from the playoffs, but Spectrum, the Dodger channel, was still airing like a random game in July or whatever it is.
Here they are
Do
against
they
the
gotta-
Cubs.
Do we got to air the same game from yesterday? Like,
At
is
least
that
it's
necessary?
yesterday. At least there's more games to come.
Yeah, it's true.
Dodgers got beat by the Diamondbacks. Like, remember when they beat the Cubs in April? That was pretty cool. That didn't really help all that much.
I would air like a Thunder game or something. Just put something different on there.
The short version, the 60-minute version of this.
30 minutes.
the squeeze
Yeah,
play.
exactly.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Much like the playoff game against the Spurs. What was it, 0.4?
Yeah.
0.4?
Yeah.
They replayed that all day long, just the 10-second whatever. They should replay the Patrick Beverly, Austin Reeves encounter. They should just
Exchange.
do that
Too
all night
small.
long, all day long.
Yeah, why
It was
not?
so good.
One of my favorite things from the Rams game, sorry to derail from
That's
the Lakers.
fine.
The Rams game was that Dortch did the too small, and he's
yeah.
5'7"
That was
against
pretty
the other
great.
guy.
It was pretty great.
It's the only time he could ever do too small, so he took that chance.
He made a play, and he took advantage of it. 5'7" guys doing this is pretty
but
great.
down by what 30
They were
points, and you're
getting
doing too
housed.
small. Okay.
Yeah.
Pat Bev
Absolutely.
did it to LeBron last year. Pat Bev told LeBron he was too small.
It doesn't count if it comes from Pat because he never stops doing stuff like that. All right, Lakers lose by 44 last night. Bad night, Slee, or way more than just that? That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. Get real and keep it real this holiday season by buying
Quarter after 10 a.m. on a live imaging Tuesday on Travis and Sliwa. The app is fixed, by the way. We got a lot of comments and calls, too. We appreciate your support.
Yeah.
Something wasn't switched from after the Laker game, and I'm blaming you, Slee.
I don't
I blame the Russians.
Oh, the Russians are back?
And the Russians.
Mini mania, as somebody once said.
Somebody.
But that's a good feeling when everyone's like, hey, the app. Isn't
Well, people-
that a warm
We
feeling?
want more Slee in the morning.
Isn't that a warm feeling?
That's
knowing
another
that
imaging line.
people want to
Get your torch snuff with more Slee in the morning. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Live Imaging Tuesday, presented by our friends at the East Central Hotel. Discover the heart of downtown L.A. at the East Central Hotel. Trendy rooms, a renovated gym, and the Nixo Patio Lounge. The perfect stay for your next downtown L.A. game or event. Book now at eastcentralhotel.com or call 213-748-1291 today. East Central Hotel, entertainment's official address. I'm going to be using the gym the next few days while I'm at East Central, because let me tell you what happened. We went hard. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Hard.
What is there one day that was harder than the other?
It all mixed into one. So Yamavai was good. Kind of. Then Thursday night, Thanksgiving dinner was fine. It was beautiful, actually. But a lot of cocktails after dinner.
Okay.
Then Friday and Saturday was just one day. Golf on both days, a lot of booze,
Wow.
a lot of food.
Wow.
Woke up Sunday morning at 6 a.m. and I went, if we're going to turn it around, if we're going to make it to Mandy's 3 in different clothes or not bigger clothes, let's go out and walk. And I walked from my house to Angel Stadium and back.
Okay.
Which
How
came
far is
together
that?
5.1 miles round trip.
Good
Perfect walk. Great
Felt
walk.
great. Then walked again Sunday night
Yep.
after the Sunday night game. And I've been on a walking spree,
It's
Great.
the best exercise.
Great.
which then influences everything in my life. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, I'm watching what I'm eating.
Yeah, because if you just
And I'm
went,
going, you know what? I don't need a drink tonight.
It goes one of two ways.
I like that.
That I understand what you're saying. A good choice leads to a second good choice,
Right.
leads to better habits overall. But sometimes it's, hey, I walked this morning. I can have that.
No.
I've earned that. You don't do that one?
No. Now I'm focused. I texted Cappy last night because he's staying at East Central tonight as well. I said, what are we doing after the show? Should we go work out together? Or should we go for a walk across the, like, You Belong to the City by Glenn Fry, the song. But apparently he's got to go see his friends, the coaches of the Browns, because they're already in town, by the way.
They didn't go back home after the Denver game. They came here instead.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to see if Lindsay and Chewy, the dog, will want to walk with me through the streets of downtown tonight.
Careful.
That sounds
That's
lovely.
I'm
Just, you know.
I'm
you know,
armed.
You know
Go
where
get
to
some
go.
fresh air.
I'm armed with
You know
pepper
where
spray.
to go.
I'll spray it. So.
Couple quick questions. The walk to Angel Stadium.
Yes.
Artie Moreno there or no?
No, I didn't knock on the door.
Okay.
Because I think they
I
still
check in, you know.
Based on my old days with Trav over there, I think they still have my picture on the wall. Don't let me in.
I don't think they would be terribly excited to see either one of us.
No.
I don't think that we're particularly popular over there.
No, they're not.
That's good. That's good momentum.
When we go for Angel games or like we have a meeting with them because they're our partner, I use a different name. And I put on one of those mustache, like the
The Bobby Valentine disguise with the Groucho Marx nose and mustache.
Hey Ryan, nice to meet you.
Nah, I
Was
can't be
just
a Ryan.
hired.
Your voice sounds familiar. No, it doesn't.
You could be a Tony.
Yeah,
You could be a Tony.
Hey, Tone.
exactly.
You're a Tony.
Do it that way.
I'm walking here.
Ryan is.
I did what you just said about one of two things happen. Either, hey, I just went on this great walk. It was a good exercise. And now you could just kind of sit back and say to yourself, well, I'm going to now make good decisions. Literally, Saturday morning, did Torrey Pines. Torrey Pines probably total 4 miles.
Did you
did
play?
the whole thing. No, I did not
yeah.
play.
Oh.
That's good. I've never played Torrey Pines. I don't think I'm allowed on that course because
It's a lot.
actually a good course. So
Better than good.
take the Torrey Pines hike. Literally, right when I'm done, where do we end up? We're at Pizza Port.
Good beer, Pete Sport.
Beer, wings, and pizza.
Yeah.
And I fell into your, well, no, because
just
I
hiked.
did 4 miles, right?
Sure.
Completely defeated the purpose.
Yeah, well, no, you like DeMarco was said before.
Yeah.
You play for the tie. You just
Play for the tie.
You play for the
Play for the
tie.
tie.
Little
Also-
goes out, little goes in.
If you do it right after, your body's still burning calories.
burning.
That's
That's right.
what Orange Theory teaches you.
Not the way
And
I drink and
so,
eat. I don't think that
you have
works.
a little bit, and then yeah.
There's a continue to burn calories, and then there's the completely shut off the motor with how much stuff you
Yes.
put in there.
If you get in the
That's
quote-unquote
more our jam. Chris.
Orange zone.
And I did only one day at tequila. The other days during the Thanksgiving break were brown. I
Bourbon?
went back to our old friend Jack.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
He's always ready.
He's
when you need
ready.
him. Whenever you need him, he's there for you.
Do you feel worse after, you feel much worse after the brown, right?
No,
You don't.
I don't really feel bad after the booze. It's the eating. It's not the booze necessarily. I'm a pro.
That's right. That's right.
drink a lot.
It doesn't.
I don't know about
the
you
only
guys.
the only
I
one
get it.
the only one that hits me differently is wine. Like if I have
sugar.
if I have too much wine, I
Yeah.
do feel like crap the next day. The rest of it, not so
But
much.
you still do Red Bull and vodkas, right? Every night. Imagine.
That doesn't.
What
One
are
goes,
we doing?
One goes this way. One
I
goes
do
that
love
way.
Red
Like,
Bull
why are we
vodkas,
doing
though.
that?
I will get a Red
Listen,
Bull vodka.
back in the
Susan-
day, I
Susan
used to
likes them too.
I used to get Red Bull and vodka anytime you'd go out, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm
like
drinking
an espresso
a
and
full
martini.
Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And those,
but an espresso martini at least tastes good.
no, it
Okay,
doesn't. It hits
my
it.
heart
Because
was
you never
like-
order those first. You order those after 2 bottles of wine, and everyone thinks, "Oh, this is a good idea."
It's an aperitif.
Oh, it's a knockout punch.
knockout
that
punch.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's better than like a Bailey's.
Not a huge. I only do Bailey's, which I did Friday and Saturday morning, in coffee. I do the Irish coffee.
Yeah, those are good.
You did everything this
It's the
week.
holidays.
Bailey's or
You're a new
Kahlua?
man. He looks a little bit different right now.
You got his haircut.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I did not.
Really?
I'm doing this whole thing where I'm growing out my beard. I will not trim my beard until the end of the year. This has been like 2 weeks. It's just going long. Now I'll trim right here with a razor, just so I don't completely
Clean it up a little.
Yeah, I don't want to be.
Wolfman Jack.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
Bailey's or Kahlua
Both together.
together.
Isn't that what they do?
I thought it
No,
was
that's
one or
right.
the other.
That's not right. It's Bailey's and Jameson.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the
or is it
Irish
Kahlua
coffee.
and Jameson?
Kahlua is a different thing. That's a Kahlua and coffee.
I
but
let
it's the
Stacy
same
at the golf
idea.
course make those decisions.
Oh, you're getting him on the road. You're getting him for the road.
No, easy now. I get them
No,
for the
the
start
road
the
of the
round.
golf course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Never really considered that.
You
This
never
is-
did that in the morning?
I have not.
Really?
I
No.
thought you've probably
If-
done everything.
If
on the golf
I'm
course.
getting started in the morning, it's
Yeah.
either a Bloody Mary
Red Bull
or
vodka.
very light beer.
or a bourbon on the rocks.
Right? No, see, that's true.
I'm
It's
kidding.
it's
Of course
light
doing.
beer
Yeah.
or a Bloody Mary, but the Irish coffee I never really even considered. This is a game
Be
changer.
warm, you know.
You're
Keep
sipping
it
No,
there.
I'm not saying I'm saying it's a good idea. It just
What are
never
you
crossed
sipping
my
there
mind.
at 7 a.m.? Vodka neat.
Well, yeah, that doesn't really flow.
No.
Yeah. Or you do a Bloody Maria, but I wasn't in the tequila mood.
So just one day right into the next.
Well, it just blends. Just blends.
Just woke up and hit the gas again.
Yeah.
That's
Rinse and
aggressive.
repeat. That's what you got to do.
But he's
It's the
back
shampoo
now.
effect.
Yeah, exactly.
That, by the way, when you're just that one or two on the shampoo effect, you're like, let's go. You don't even need like the long on ramp.
I also
at
love
point.
that term, the shampoo effect.
It-
It's perfect.
It is. It's exactly right. It works. It's basically undefeated. You got to put in the work the day before, though, because if that's not where it needs to be, you don't get the shampoo effect.
You want to explain the shampoo effect to people who don't understand?
It's basically like if you have a little bit of shampoo and you rinse it out, but a little bit stays in there, just a little bit of water, and you can get a whole nother head full of suds. That's just the night before you've had so much to drink that you just have a little bit the next day, and you're right back where you need
Hair
to
of
be.
the dog.
Jeez.
But that it works so
That's
much
science.
quicker.
It
than
does.
If you,
It's
just
almost
drink-
instantaneous. It's
Yeah.
like, there you are, old friend. It happens quickly.
Back in the day, you used to have to do other things to have that effect the next day. You know what I mean? But you got
There
to be
you
careful.
are,
now, then.
old friend.
You know what I'm saying, Jorge?
It's like a warm pair of slippers.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's not forever.
That too. I mean,
44 points, Al.
44.
That's a lot.
44, brother. And we got it just replaying in the background. I'm not sure why we need that, but yeah. By the way, what is? I'm trying to figure out. Was that just is that one really bad loss and that's it? Whether you lose by 1 or you lose by 44, and you just turn the page and it's like, okay, let's move on to the next day, or you just lost by 44 against the Sixers, which, by the way, I think MU said it. It's the 8th time this year they're down by a dozen or more at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah.
You're getting your ass kicked, obviously, all game, and then you still get outscored in the fourth, 40-14. I don't know if I've figured out yet if it's just – I lean more towards it's a bad loss. Move on. They had won 7 of 9 before that. They picked up a win at Cleveland on Saturday to start this road trip. I lean a little bit more towards that. But you still lost by 44 against the dream team. This is not the it's the Sixers. They're a good team.
Okay, but it's
They're
all
all
yeah.
right.
The MVP last year. Max
I
is
get
playing out
it.
of his
Okay,
mind.
lose by 10 or 12. By 44?
Now, you know what you've done today? Just so you know, I'm going to be so preoccupied with the dream team the rest of the day. Like now I'm not going to be able to. Why is Christian Leitner there? Like, what is he doing there?
What's Leitner doing there?
Like, it doesn't even make
Wait,
any
didn't
sense.
they have to have a college
They had a
guy?
college guy. Could have taken Shaq. Shaq was still in college.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shaq seems like more of a fit for the dream
Leitner
team.
was well known, and he's still he's
Leitner,
trivia. He's
Leitner
trivia.
might be the greatest college basketball player of all time. He was but it's Leitner. Like you look at there's Magic and Jordan and
I
Bird
know.
and Barkley and
Leitner?
Come on, man. See, now you've derailed my entire day. This is going to bother me the rest of the day. It's also going to remind me.
Why was Leitner part of the dream team? 877.
Then in 1992, when that team came, was it 92 or 96? 92.
92, the dream team.
McDonald's came out with the Dream Team Cups. And you would go and, I got Patrick Ewing this time. I got Larry Bird. So not that I did this. I definitely did not do this. I may have tried to get every player on the Dream Team and basically ate at McDonald's for 2 meals a day for several weeks until I got them all.
Did it have anything to do with that, or was it your excuse to just keep eating at McDonald's?
It was like
a little bit of both.
Little chicken
Doesn't
and
matter.
egg, chicken and egg scenario. Doesn't matter. One begat
matter.
the next, and it was all good. But now I'm derailed for the Dream Team. Back to your original question. I think it's more than they just got their butt kicked on a random night. Not a ton more, but a little bit more, and here's why. Give me just like a super run-of-the-mill, not a bad, like Golden State this year.
Okay.
Just kind of in the middle of the pack, right? Had Golden State blown their doors off one night, you go, whatever. Okay. Had a bad team, the Pistons, who they play tomorrow. Then that's a huge problem because the Pistons are dreadful. Philadelphia is in that handful of, 6 or 8 teams that you look at and say, that team has a chance to win an NBA championship. That's one of the best teams in the league. To get run over the way you did, not just by the 44 points at the end of the night, but the fact that you were behind by 25 in the middle of the second quarter, the fact that the game just spiraled out of control at the end of the third quarter, those are the teams you're going to have to beat to get to the finals. Mm-hmm. That's the sort of team you're going to have to beat in the finals. A really good team with another star player who's playing at a very high level. The Lakers didn't look like they were in 100 miles of that team. And not just because Philly made a bunch of shots, the Lakers, it was obvious the Lakers were not on that level, whether it was intensity, whether it was play, whether it was any of those things. 80% of it was, hey, that's a bad night. But the other 20% is you're not on that level.
All right, well, I know we got to go to break here, but I think your explanation confuses me even more because we were having a conversation yesterday about the Lakers, and we were complimenting where they were. So I think it actually confused me a little bit more. We do that coming back.
It's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
We meet tonight on the streets of downtown LA. After the show at 7 o'clock, I'm going to go for that walk. It's a little different downtown than the last time I used to walk after a show way back when. But
A little different.
But we'll get Lindsay out there. We'll get Chewy the dog. He'll protect me, I think.
Yeah, Chewy's got your back.
I hope so. Yeah. You remember this music video? It was so good.
The video, no.
Glenn Fry walking through the streets.
Doing this.
It's a live Imaging Tuesday made possible by our friends at East Central Hotel. I got to go to a meeting. I was able to avoid one because of the train, but I'll be back shortly on this Giving Tuesday.
Any thoughts on the Laker game before you leave?
It was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad.
And there's no actual, as I was watching it, I'm like, but there's nothing to point to why it's so bad. It just was bad.
Bad start.
That's the
Bad
most.
start, but they start bad a lot of times and pull it out. But there was no chance.
There was no chance at the end of the first quarter. There was no chance at the end of the first half. There was no chance at any point in that game did you think that they were going to win it.
Fourth quarter, they were going to turn it around, except they lost 40-14 in the fourth quarter.
Didn't help.
That didn't help.
That didn't help. Okay, so what are you confused about?
So this is why I'm confused. You said that because it's a team that look, I think there's tiers right now, and I don't think Philly's in that top tier in the East. I think it's Milwaukee and Boston, and I think Philly can give anyone a fight, but they probably have to figure out how to go take those assets that they got back from the Clippers and make one more move. Let's put that to the side for a second. They're a good team, and that's the point that you're trying to put across is there's only a handful of teams that you look at in the NBA and say, that's a good team. Would you be shocked if they made a run? No, you wouldn't. With that being said, we are sitting here 24 hours ago talking about the Lakers, that they've won 7 of their last 9 games, that the win against the Cavs was a really nice win. And, oh, by the way, Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, Cam Reddish, that you're missing some key role players, but you still kind of have found a way as the dust has settled. You started out 10-7. I think you and I, before the season even started, be around that 500 mark. Don't put yourself in a position 20 games in, 20%, 25% into the season. And that's why I think it confused me a little bit more yesterday. I think the Lakers have got off to a good start. I don't think
Can both things not be true at the same time? That they have won, I guess now 7 out of 10. They did have a pretty nice win against Cleveland, but what you saw last night is different than what you'd seen in the previous 9, which is you're playing a better team than most of that group of 9 was. You're playing.
You're right. The schedule were you had a lot of layups, and you had a lot of layups at home, but that doesn't guarantee that you win.
It doesn't, and that's why I was and am more or less pleased with where they are. But if we're trying to project and we're trying to forecast on what it's going to be, you need to have one of the best players in the league to win a championship. Everybody knows that, right? And they have to play like that in big moments. Embiid was that. The other guys were not. Right? That Embiid was one of those, oh, yeah, if that guy does that, they're going to be really hard to beat. When we saw Jokic on opening night, it's like, look, if Jokic is doing stuff like that, good luck with the rest of it, right? That Anthony Davis, and this isn't a pile on Anthony Davis moment. This is just Anthony Davis and LeBron were clearly, you said it this morning when we were chatting, like Embiid was the best player on the court, and it wasn't close.
No, by a mile.
The second best player on the court was Tyrese Maxey, and it wasn't close.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's kind of the funny thing about that is those were the 2 best players.
They're the 2 best guys. So the Lakers can be about where they need to be as far as the Western Conference standings go, and winning a little bit more than they're losing, and they're relatively healthy with their 2 big guys, all those things, and be generally pleased with that, but then see them against one of the better teams in the league. Maybe they're not one of the 2 or 3, but they're one of the best 6 or 7 and get clobbered. And it's just, hey, hold on a second. Those 2 things can both be true at the same time.
So they got, I think it's fair of, and I always look forward to this. I tell you this as well. I love when the Lakers have a tough matchup coming up because it's your barometer.
Sure.
It's great. Okay, you beat Utah, Portland. Cool. All right, that's what it is. Dallas was a close game, and you end up losing that game. Houston they beat on their homestand that they had.
Houston and Dallas are like the super middle of the pack, low half of the middle.
Houston we even think they're going to be, but maybe they're going to be an average team at best. When you get a chance to face the good teams, you get excited about that because it is the barometer. So I think then what you're going with, and I think this is going to be one of the things that we pay closer attention to, who's the next good team like that the Lakers got coming up, and how will they perform? Because if I'm not telling you that the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to go win an NBA championship, but they're 11-5.
They're good.
They have the second best record in the Western Conference. Lakers have them Thursday. So
second end of a back-to-back.
Second end of a back-to-back. You play Pistons tomorrow, then you got the Oklahoma City Thunder. If they lost that game, and now we're looking at it's like they lose that game by 20 or 25. It's like, okay, so on this road trip, you played two good teams. Cleveland's average, Detroit's lost 14 in a row. But if you play two good teams on this 4-game road trip, and in those 2 games against those 2 teams, you lose by 20-plus in both of them,
how about
I could tell you
that
they don't.
that's
but,
20. Even if they lose by 1, Oklahoma City, it averages out to 22 a game.
That's right. That's right. But that's why I'm not even. Let's put the 44 to the side because that's such an absurd number.
Yes.
I don't know what to do with that 44. But I could tell you that if they beat Cleveland and they beat the Pistons, I could say, hey, they went 2-on-2. They went 2-2 on that road trip. I'll take that. But if your 2 losses are Philly and OKC by 20 points plus or 40 then I think you look at it a little bit differently.
So if we're struggling to put our finger on what to make of a 44-point loss, see if you can help me with this. And this, I understand that this number isn't perfect, that this number does not tell the entire story. Jackson Hayes was a minus 33 in 19 minutes. I didn't even think that you could do that. Like, I didn't know that the math could add up to that. Like, I thought to be like LeBron was minus 30 as well, but he played 30 minutes. Like, I get it. You're out there. You're kind of losing a point about every minute. Okay, sure. 33 in 19 minutes, that's lopsided.
I think Hayes played a lot of the fourth then.
He did. And again,
no,
he only
I know
played 19 minutes, but I think that speaks to the general mood in the building last night.
D'Lo had the best -8.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's only, and that's usually a number that could be totally inside out for him along the way.
Can I tell you something funny? And this is, and we got some good sound that we'll get to in just a second on Braun and everything else. But I don't think this is a new conversation, but I think it's very natural that when the Lakers are going to go up and play a team like the Sixers, you're going to hype up, hey, this is going to be a fun matchup. It's Embiid and Anthony Davis. When they're going to play Denver, it's Jokic and Anthony Davis. It's going to be a fun matchup.
People need to stop doing that.
But here's the thing. We don't need to – it's impossible not to say that these two players are on the court at the same time. Without – I'm not trying to make a case that AD is going to go dominate Embiid. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I at no point was asking the question. The Lakers did not lose the game because of Anthony Davis last night. But at no point did I question what Joel Embiid was going to do last night. What I did question was, what is Anthony Davis going to do last night?
And it's not just last night.
NBA Central put this out. It's on Twitter. And look at AD over his last 10 games. And these are just his point totals, okay? 17 yesterday. 32 the night before. 10. 26, 27, 16, 9, 19, 30, 18. It is all over the place. And I it's not shocking, right? Because I think we've seen that with Anthony Davis where it's the up, the down, and everything else. But just very, very simply put, he had a great game against Cleveland. We were complimenting him and everything else. You're not going anywhere with those numbers. You're not. Those AD numbers that are wildly up and down, tell me, Trav, when you're supposed to have, when you play in a game, LeBron and Anthony Davis have to be elite every night. We've already said that if they're not elite, there's a strong chance they're losing that game.
Right.
Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid were elite yesterday, 30 and 31, and they combined for 19 assists on top of all that. That's just that wild flow. I thought it was this one kind of shocked me a little bit because I thought it was more pretty consistent, little up, little down, pretty consistent, little up, little down. That's wild almost every single night. It's wild. It's such a drastic difference.
I'm trying to find something here as we do. Okay, here we go. Let's see. And I have not looked at the perfect. So I just pulled up Joel Embiid in his last 5 games. Okay? 30, 35, 32, 32, 32.
Put it in. It's done.
Okay? It's just...
It's done.
And in a nutshell, that's what we're talking about. This is what I was mentioning to you yesterday. This is what we were talking about this morning. Great players like Embiid are frequently great and almost always pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. Once in a blue moon, they're bad. That's kind of how it breaks down. Good players, Anthony Davis, are occasionally great, frequently good and periodically not very good. That's the difference. There isn't wild fluctuations. Anthony Davis is a good player who occasionally plays great. Joel Embiid is a great player.
Period.
We're done.
Period.
That's it. And that's why Embiid against Davis, Davis against Giannis, Davis against Jokic, Davis. No, stop. Those guys are all great players. Anthony Davis is a good player, and that's fine. But to constantly think he's going to metamorphosize or transition into greatness isn't. He will be occasionally great because he's incredibly gifted, but greatness is doing it like 30, 35, 32, 32, 32. There's no 10 in there. There's no 16 in there, 17 in there. There isn't. It's just because he's not one of those guys. He's one of the other guys. And it's not a slight to Davis because how many of the Embiid type guys are there? Maybe 7, 8
Can I
tops?
it's kind of funny when we talk MVPs, okay? Now, MVP, it's not the clearest way to distinguish the best player in the league. It's their way of saying the most valuable player. Now, everybody can have a different definition of value. There's probably usually every year 5 players in the conversation for most valuable player. It doesn't really go past that, okay? Some of it's going to have to do with the record, the this, that. Who are the 5? And I think this is what you're referring to, that the only way you can be the most valuable player in the league is every night if you're great. It's going to be Jokic. It's going to be Luka is going to be in that conversation. It's going to be Embiid. It's going to be Giannis. I haven't really looked at Giannis's numbers. And then you're going to have somebody that may be starting to creep into that conversation.
Tatum, guys like that.
Tatum, Shai Gilgeous.
Yeah.
Especially if their record is good. Anthony Edwards, if Minnesota's record is good. But that's it. Like there aren't that many. There really aren't that many. So that's just one observation from last night. By far the best player on the floor was Joel Embiid. And when I tell you it wasn't even close, it genuinely was not even close.
Here are Embiid's. Now I'm down the rabbit hole. You ready?
Dream Team and Embiid numbers.
The numbers for Embiid. And this perfectly tracks with what I was saying about always be pretty damn good, frequently great, and rarely below the line. Here are the and this is just points. It's not a perfect example, but 30, 35, 32, 32, 32, 20, which is way below his number, 39, 37, 33, 27, 48, 26, 28. They're all either damn good
so
or
his
great.
Worst day was 20.
Was 20.
His worst day.
His worst day.
But then he also had a 48.
He had a 48.
Which kept him at the
He's
averaging
had a 37,
of 30.
a 39, and a 35. And a bunch of 32s and 33s. There aren't peaks and valleys. It's just a super high plateau.
No, listen, he's 32, 11, and 6 a night. He had a triple-double yesterday. He had 11 assists yesterday.
He's pretty good. The rating MVP turns out good at basketball. Hey, did you see? Foo, coming up next. It's Trav and Slee, 710 ESPN. Hey, big news. Next Gen is the official AC Heat and Plumbing Company of SoCal sports fans. Next Gen is the best in the biz and has thousands of 5-star reviews online to prove it. I've had the guys from Next Gen out to my home. They gave me the 28-point full heat and AC safety inspection and tune-up, just $44. That's right, just $44 to ensure your system stays running strong all season long, and they'll even throw in a free air filter at no extra charge. Think about what it's like right now. It's kind of cold this week, right? We're getting highs in the 50s. It's dropping down to the 40s. You need your heat. Next week, is anybody surprised if it's 85 degrees again? You're going to want to flip on that air conditioner. Make sure that it's all running at its absolute best. Next Gen is the only name you need to remember for a safe, comfy home. And if you're concerned about air quality in your home or have allergy problems, call Next Gen and breathe easy with indoor air solutions to fit any budget. Call 833-3NEXTGEN. That's 833-3NEXGEN or visit nextgenairandplumbing.com to schedule online.
Hey, it's
Foundation for Cancer Research, the foundation he announced in his unforgettable 1993 ESPY speech. Jimmy V's message of don't give up, don't ever give up means more now than ever before. So we come together with a shared mission to accelerate victory over cancer and save lives. If you're in a position to do it and you have an opportunity to do it, please, if you're able, you can give back at v.org/donate. That's v.org/donate. If you're able, please support the critical work of the V Foundation for Cancer Research. 100% of your donation goes directly to game-changing cancer research. Again, one more time, v.org/donate.
Today is Giving Tuesday.
It's a day when people all across the country give back to support the organization.
Today is Giving Tuesday.
It's a day when people all across the country give back to support the organizations that mean the most to them in their communities.
We're celebrating today on 710 ESPN by supporting the V Foundation.
We know these are challenging times for everyone. If you're able, we hope that you'll choose to join us today on Giving Tuesday.
Go to v.org/donate now and help support the critical work of the V Foundation for Cancer Research.
Travis and Sliwa, and it's time for the segment we do around this time, 10:40 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Hey, did you see that sky today?
Did you guys see that?
Basically, the days we don't do Ask Slee, we do this thing. It's called Hey, Did You See?
Did you see that? I saw it, I did it.
Did you see the memo about this?
I mean, I'm excited. You can tell by my read. Hey, did you see? Oh, hey, did you happen to see? It's time for Hey, Did You See?
Hey, man, did you touch my drum set?
Have you read this? Right now on Travis and Sliwa.
Jorge, it's your responsibility to remind me to bring the ham tomorrow. Today's the last day for the ham.
For sure.
Okay.
I'll text you tonight.
All right, good.
After I eat mine.
Do you still have some left?
I finished it yesterday.
I had another ham sandwich when I got home from work yesterday. I'm like, that's like 5 days in a row. I need to chill out.
Yeah. No,
what do you got?
All right, fool. So I'm going to start with a riddle here. So this is an interesting story.
Okay, Survivor.
I was walking around LA Live a while back, and a person came in a wheelchair, and he says, "Hey, man, I want to ask you for $10, but I don't want you to give me your money. I want to earn it." And I was like, okay, this is interesting because, it's a person in need. So I was like, okay, cool. So he tells me the riddle. He says, a man makes it, but doesn't want it. The man needs it, but doesn't buy it. The man uses it, but doesn't know it. What is it?
I don't know.
Alan?
Can you repeat it one more time?
The man makes it, but he doesn't want it. The man needs it, but doesn't buy it. The man uses it, but doesn't know it.
I know what it is. Wait, man, that last one, is it money?
No. Emily? Alan? Anybody?
I don't know.
You make it, you don't want it. You need it, you don't buy it. You use it, you don't know it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. It's a casket. Okay? It's a casket. The reason I'm telling you this is because David...
the Costco...
what's his last name? He's an actor. David...
what show?
Dismulchin.
Dismulchin.
Yeah, David Dismulchin. He's an Oppenheimer. He's on the Dark. He's the Scarecrow on the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
He's now the celebrity ambassador for Triton Caskets.
Okay.
Now, we talk about NIL deals and food and shoes and any other type of product. Would you be comfortable being the face of something like that?
So, yes, because as somebody who's been doing what you and I do, Slee,
Yeah.
I've been doing this for almost 30 years now. Okay?
And I sent you guys a picture so you guys can see what this is like.
There are only a very small, and not even a handful, there are 2 things in 30 years I've said I won't endorse. And I'm not going to tell you what they are because other people have said yes to it, so I will leave it there.
And maybe they can convince you.
Yeah. Caskets, sure. Look, I'm a cremation guy. I'm going to need like a coffee can. I don't necessarily need like a coffin or anything. But if you're a coffin person and you need one, I'll sell one to you. Sure, let's go.
Alan?
I don't think I would, but just looking at the beginning of this article, talking about David, why he wants to normalize talking about death, that I think is a healthy thing. Like, that's a good thing. That's something that not everybody, it's inevitable. It happens to everybody, so you might as well make it. I'm not saying you're sitting at Thanksgiving dinner and that's the top conversation.
Let's talk about death.
I don't think I would do it, but I think it's advantageous to have that be more of a conversation.
Emily?
Yeah, I don't want, to be associated with death. So
it's gonna happen.
I know,
to
but
everybody.
I don't want when people are shopping. Oh, give me the Hebel. I don't really want to have that.
That would be awesome.
No,
I'm not.
Everyone's sobbing.
I will tell you this.
sad.
I will tell you this, just because I had to go through it when my pops passed away. It is much better to be, and you can't, you can't really prepare for anything, but there's planning things that you can do early on that is so much more beneficial, because when it's actually it's a complete mess. It's the last thing that you want to deal with.
Because you're grieving and then you're also
the whole
doing
thing.
That, yeah.
And it doesn't matter. Like, people could be saying it. They're also selling you something. So it's like, it's not a good predicament to be in at all. Taking care of that stuff early on is much better.
Yeah, when I saw this, I thought it was interesting because like I mentioned, we see guys with shoes and like clothes or whatever. But when I saw this guy, promoting this on TV and talking about how he wants to normalize it and how he wants to make it a cheaper option for you to buy it straight up from this company as opposed from a funeral home or whatever.
Yeah,
I just thought
there are advantages to that.
Exactly.
I will tell you, and especially if you're doing it well ahead of time, there's a lot of advantages to that.
Yeah.
So I just
can slap my name on it. If anybody's interested, hit us up. I'm here for you. I will definitely do it.
Yeah. So it's just. I wanted to tie in the riddle in there too.
You guys can ask me what I said no to twice in 30 years.
So.
I got one guess. One I think I got.
Yeah, for sure.
One was here and one was somewhere else.
Okay.
One was here and
I have a guess.
One was in Houston. Okay. We'll
yeah.
Look. If you get
one was Cinnabon.
No, I would have done Cinnabon. I would have done it enthusiastically, right? I haven't eaten a cinnamon roll since 1984, but if you're in the mood, I would do that for sure. Lincoln Riley is still singing from the same hymnal.
Baby.
It's not a good song.
Lincoln.
That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. Rotolo Chevrolet has won Dealer of the Year 13 years in a row. 13 years in a row of basically being the MVP. That's what Dealer of the Year is, right? You don't win 13 MVPs in a league. You don't win 13 championships in sports. But Rotolo, Dealer of the Year 13 years in a row, because the selection, forget about it. Every make and model of Silverado you can think of, Chevy cars and trucks that you can think of, they got you covered. Pricing, of course, they're going to have great prices as well. But customer service, this is why they're the MVP. This is why they're Dealer of the Year for nearly a decade and a half. Because you're going to love every part about it. You're going to feel good about it. You're going to feel like you know every part about it because you will. That's what they do at Rotolo. That's what Mike Capozio insists that happens every single day. So you tell your friends and they tell theirs, and the next thing you know, it's 14 years in a row, 15, and that's what Rotolo Chevrolet does day after day after day. They take care of their customers. So if you're looking for that new Chevy car or truck, get out to Rotolo right off the 210 freeway, Sierra Avenue exit, and tell them that Travis sent you. And if you can't get in, go online, RotoloChevy.com. That's ROTOLO, RotoloChevy.com, and go see what all the fun is about.
Coming up today at 4 p.m.
It's the The pursuit for back-to-back MLS Cups continues for the Black and Gold after the win in Seattle.
We're going back to BMO Stadium, baby, for the Western Conference Final.
Let's go at home. We're coming back. Coming back to BMO.
Golden Boot winner Denis Bouanga struck again with another game winner.
Denis into the 18. Denis racing in. Shot. Goal! Denis finishes it off. It's 1-0.
And on the other side of the pitch, it was Maxime Crepeau, who was the hero in goal for LAFC.
Save Crepeau again! Oh, Maxime with a fingertip save here in the 82nd minute.
The run for the repeat marches on this Saturday at BMO Stadium.
We're so excited to play at home. We're ready. Play home. I'm ready. Yes. Let's go.
Pre-game coverage begins at 6 p.m. on the ESPNLA app. Vamos Black and Gold.
Vamos!
Yes, it's officially back. Fifth Row Fridays presented by BBGO.
That's the official game day snack of the Lakers, by the way. And this is the best thing we give away. Fifth row seats to a Laker game. How many times do people come up to us and say, hey, give me Laker tickets?
Yes.
We don't have them. I don't even have them, but you can win them if you listen every day.
And these seats are better than the seats that you and Michael have, right?
15 rows better.
Yeah.
Michael and I are like row 20. So here's how you win. You listen every day to all the shows and take notes. If you can answer 5 questions about what happened on the show that day, you're eligible to win.
And don't forget, on Fridays, your chance to call in all 5 right answers, and you are in the fifth row at Crypto.com Arena for a Lakers game.
For free!
Day has the same person dropped off food at your house twice in one day? I don't know.
Great question.
Travis and Sliwa.
On 710 ESPN.
Could never find the David Robinson McDonald's cup. That was the part of the Dream Team set that I could never get my hands on.
But they did that on purpose, so that
why
you kept
him?
going there.
But why David Robinson?
Because you would notice
Make Larry
it.
Bird hard to find. Make
No, but
Magic hard to get.
You can't, because those are the ones you're going to notice. Like, hey, there's something fishy going on around here. The Robinson was the one. As good of a player as he wasn't the big name.
Is it out there, Em?
$8 on eBay.
$8?
Yeah.
See,
right now.
It was you had to
Christmas
still
gift.
want it?
Christmas gift.
I don't want no. Scratch it off the list.
We will get together. We'll put our funds together.
I wanted it so badly because at some point it was just all right. I was 21 or 2 years old in '92, and I was going to McDonald's pretty regularly. It was a part of my rotation, right? Not a big deal. And I realized I got like 8 of the 12 guys on this team. I'd really like to get the next 4. So I started hunting the Admiral, and I could never get him.
Was it the paper cups where you get your soda in, or was it a special plastic cup?
It was a special plastic cup. It was like one of those commemorative plastic cups.
So there was no way for you to like talk to one of the McDonald's people and say, guys, here's the deal.
So
I got everybody. I could trade you 31 birds. I just need one David Robinson.
I wanted it to happen organically. I didn't want to rig the system. I didn't want to cheat. I wanted to get my David Robinson through the window, just like I'll take the Big Mac value meal with the Olympic cup. Come on, Admiral. Come on, Admiral.
Was it the same?
Scottie Pippen again?
Was it the same McDonald's that
No.
you kept going to?
No, because I have a great deal of shame.
You would have to go different ones around.
I thought there were going to be workers there like this idiot's still
Just
looking for
give
David
him-
Robinson.
There's probably a stack of nothing but David Robinsons under there.
Give him Barkley again.
So none of you guys are old enough to remember this. When the Olympics came here, and by the way, McDonald's, if you're listening, you should do this in 2028 when the Olympics come back here in L.A. When the Olympics were here in L.A., I think it was a national promo. It might not have even just been here in L.A. I'm sure it was national now that I think about it. You would order your food, and you would get a little, almost like a lotto ticket where you'd scratch off the prize.
Kind of like the Monopoly thing.
Yeah. And so you would scratch off, there would be bronze. You'd scratch it off. It would be like a small Coke.
Mm-hmm.
You would scratch off silver, and it would say medium fries. And if you scratched off gold, it would say quarter pounder with cheese, right? You would get like 3 different levels of prizes, and then you'd scratch off an event, right? So if it said, the men's 100-meter freestyle swimming, okay? So if we got the gold, you got the sandwich. If we got the silver, you got the fries. If we got the bronze, you got the Coke. Well, remember in 1984, the Russians and most of the Eastern Bloc boycotted the Olympics. The Americans not only won every event, they frequently went across the podium. They got gold, silver, and bronze.
Jeez.
And every one of these tickets was like a free meal. So we would ride our bikes from McDonald's to McDonald's to McDonald's collecting these tickets, and it was basically they're handing out free lunches everywhere you go. And I don't remember exactly what it was. I'm sure it's written about online somewhere. But it cost McDonald's a fortune because the Russians never showed up. And because they were great at the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
East Germany at the time, great at the Olympics. All of these other Czechoslovakia, all of these places that would win or at least compete, USA, 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 just free you-know-what across the board. It was great.
I don't think McDonald's might not be participating in that. Well, you
Also,
just
they
need
would
the
do
other
it-
countries to
They
participate.
would do it on the app on the phone now,
Yeah.
and you probably wouldn't want to download it anyway. But
I deleted it. I'm
well,
joking.
I did watch a Netflix documentary about the Monopoly thing with how this people were trying to rig the Monopoly. I actually might have been on HBO. It was very interesting, and then McDonald's was losing a lot of money in that.
Those games were so compelling. Like it was part of the. Oh, you got 100 meters, or Carl Lewis is going to win that. That's a free Big Mac. Like it was ridiculous. And I would ride my bike all
did
of
that one.
Pasadena, Arcadia, Monrovia, everywhere.
See, my mom didn't get the gravy, but we used to go around McDonald's chasing for those glass Disney collectible cups, those glasses. Oh, those were cool.
They
we
were
had the
cool.
Hercules
Different
one, I
McDonald's.
think, in my house.
Yeah.
There's cups and there's plates, I think.
We
had
talked
the
about it,
Hercules
right?
plates,
Remember the jet? Where's my jet?
Oh yeah,
This
the
was
Pepsi points, right?
I don't think I told the story here, but I used to collect so much of the Pepsi points because my dad had the liquor store.
Right.
So I was kind of rigging the system here because I figured, I'm like, okay, well, he's got to purchase all these. So you get in the boxes, and then you're going to stock you're stocking the coolers with the Pepsi and everything else. I'm like, okay, Dad, don't throw any of these boxes away. So I would just try to collect all these points. And I think all the points I got like a dartboard. That was like the most.
I mean,
the most that I could get was a dartboard. But I used the hell out of that dartboard.
Darts included?
Darts included.
No, that was a different point system.
You needed another 800,000 points to get the darts.
I needed my uncle's liquor store. He had 4 of them.
did anyone ever get the biggest thing at arcades or whatever? Because there was this place called Funland back in where I used to live, and you'd want to collect X amount of things. You'd be playing your game all day, and all you can get is one of those Chinese finger traps or whatever.
With tickets, right?
Yeah, exactly. You
Like
get,
Chuck E. Cheese.
45,000 tickets.
Stickers and
So,
erasers.
Did anybody ever get anything big from that? I didn't.
I was literally am going to say the best prize I ever got from any of those things was a Chinese finger trap. Like that was the because
slinky.
that was but a slinky was like the next level up. You had to get 100. The finger trap was 15.
Did you ever get scared? I'm like, it's it. It's gone. I've got
You got to push in before you can pull out.
Mom.
But then the anxiety, it's like quicksand or whatever. The more you struggle, the more it stays the same.
Why is this idiot sweating in the corner of the arcade store?
The styrofoam plane, remember you used to build it?
Oh, yeah.
You tear it up,
yeah.
build the styrofoam, then launch it, and it will
Had
fly.
bouncy balls like crazy.
Yeah.
The
39 of
Are you
those.
talking about the big styrofoam
Well, that was a
one?
bigger one. But
Yeah.
then I'm talking about the little ones that come in the little packet.
I know
with
what
the
you're talking
wood, right? The balsa wood with
Well,
the propeller that
it
you'd
was
wind with the
styrofoam.
rubber band.
No. It was styrofoam, and it had a little.
Yours is like
propeller.
a real,
Yeah,
like,
yours
needs
is-
to go through aviation.
You guys, so
License.
there was balsa wood, right? You'd punch them out, same
perfect.
thing, and you'd slide the pieces together like
Right.
this, right? And then there was a little metal, almost like a staple at the back end that you'd take the rubber band and you'd wrap a propeller around it, you let it go, and it would fly
Like, no.
forever. It was awesome.
I'm talking
Hey,
about
see,
the ghetto version
I'm
of
kind of jealous here that
Okay.
you got
I'm finding
those.
those.
Here's one more sweepstakes that I don't think you guys
Very
get because
jealous.
it's my generation. But if you're listening and you're around my age, about 27, you will remember this. It's the Danimals Sweet Life of Zack and Cody cruise. Okay, so this was Sweet Life of Zack and Cody was a show on Disney Channel. It has 2 kids, twins, Zack and Cody, Dylan and Cole Sprouse. And I swear, every single commercial for 2 years was Danimals. You can win this
Yogurt.
sweepstakes. Yes, the Danimals yogurt. And then you can go on this cruise with Zack and Cody. And everyone's like, I'm just hunting down the person that went on this cruise with Dylan and Cole Sprouse. That's all I want to know about is who went on that cruise.
It's the greatest plane I've ever seen in my life.
I'm showing the guys the balsa wood plane
Yeah.
with the propeller. You can
From the
buy
30s?
It's amazing.
well, they're still
need a
for
pilot
sale
license for that,
on
though.
they're still for sale on Amazon. Anybody want to? Okay, look at it real quick. Don't.
Yep.
How much do you think that thing costs? It's a balsa wood glider with a rubber band.
On Amazon?
On
20.
Amazon. Okay.
50 bucks.
No, I'm gonna go under. I'll go $12.
And what did you say,
I said 20.
Jorge?
I'll say $50.
8.
We all lost my Price is Right rule.
Yeah. They were.
Well, 8 is. By the way, we have 2 gifts for you for Christmas. We have this one was $8. David Robinson was 8.
Yeah, 16.
That's 16.
Sold.
The max is 25, homeboy. What
Yeah.
else do you need?
Sold. I'm in.
You got any sweepstakes stories of your childhood? Call in 877-710-3776.
Bro, this was the Pepsi dartboard.
That looks great. Oh,
not
it comes
bad.
in a case. You
Yeah, no,
undersold
no.
this.
It
That's
was-
a great prize.
It's a great prize.
It's
just-
red, white, and blue, so you
Pepsi?
feel like
yeah,
a
it's just
real
that-
American.
It's just that probably all the Pepsis I was forcing him to buy expired by the time.
How do you have any teeth left in your head with all the Pepsi?
Well, I wasn't even drinking them. I was trying to get the points.
Well, yeah, no one drinks Pepsi.
I was just trying to get
Pepsi,
the points.
If you sponsor the station.
Yeah, I sent you the airplane I used to buy.
We were a Pepsi family. All our family members were Pepsi.
Ugh.
No one ever bought Coke, and Coke was better, but we always bought Pepsi.
It's not like there was a price difference. It's about the
another
same.
piece of the Sliwa puzzle has snapped into
We were
place.
7-Up. We were not Sprite.
Remember
7-Up.
pizza?
I prefer 7-Up.
Pepsi Blue. Remember Pepsi Blue?
I remember crystal clear Pepsi.
Oh.
Remember that?
Hey, how about if it's Pepsi, only it looks like 7-Up?
Well, okay.
Like, what the hell?
Why
do I need that?
There was a whole generation where it was like make everything clear, like those phones that would be clear, and everyone wanted those. And like
there
the
was
Game
a
Boys
Mac
that were
computer that you could see through too.
Or a Game Boy that was clear.
Yeah.
It's
just a trendy
Pepsi,
thing.
only it looks like
Crystal
7-Up.
clear Pepsi.
That's dumb. That's you know what else?
Yeah, these are more familiar.
Yeah, there's a reason it's gone, right?
They're making a comeback.
Speaking of dumb,
Pumping a lot of
Slee,
money.
This is from Lincoln Riley. We did an interview with The Athletic where they asked him a bunch of different questions, and one of the questions was about how you go from winning the way that they did. They won 11 games last year. They went to the Pac-12 championship, won the Heisman Trophy, et cetera, to a team that was 7-5 and lost 5 of their last 6 games. I think on the outside, there's going to be a perception of how could you win 11 in the first and 7 in the second? The reality is the two teams weren't that different, and I think we had some struggles and some things last year. We had some major holes. You could take 3 or 4 plays from the whole season, and I can show you a 10-win team. He's still selling that. He's still selling the take 3 or 4 plays, and we're a 10-win team. You take 2 more plays, and you're a 5-win team because if the Arizona play is a little different, if the Cal play is a little different, and the other ones stay the same, you're not 7-5, you're 5-7, and they didn't beat anybody. That he believes this is troubling to me because this is the person that you're hoping is going to be able to fix this. Mm-hmm. This is the person that's in charge of identifying the problems. And if he's sitting in his office and saying, well, we're only 3 or 4 plays away from being a 10-win team, that's terrifying because it's just not true. You're an entire defense away from being a 10-player team or a 10-win team. You have to go replace arguably the number 1 pick in the draft who's getting ready to leave on the offensive side of the ball. You're not a step or 2 away. You're half of a football team away and the most important position on the football team on the other side away.
So I'm not going to argue whether he's right or wrong because he's wrong. And none of those quotes that he keeps pushing, the trying to sell everybody that, guys, a couple plays and this is a completely different season. I don't believe it. You don't believe it. SC fans don't believe it. The listeners don't believe it. So I don't know why does he keep pushing that narrative? You remember this when he got introduced. This was in 2021. He becomes a head coach at USC. And he's got that opening presser. And listen, I was sold on what he was trying to do. I was sold that the culture was going to change. I was sold that he's going to bring the right athletes. I was sold that he's going to bring the right coaching staff. I was sold that USC football was back. Why do you keep going back and saying, but do you remember what it used to be? Nobody brought you here to look at the past.
Can I read you that quote? He was talking about taking over for a program. I didn't think that we'd win 11 and got as close to the playoff as we did in the first year. You can take over a program in 2 different ways. You can take over one where somebody took another job because they were really successful and the program was doing really well and healthy, and obviously there's the other piece. The SC program was not healthy. The SC program was in the dump, right? So it's not, hey, we're only a player 2 away. And, oh, by the way, don't forget how bad it was before I got here. Those are the 2 worst things to sell.
Can I tell you something? The only thing I think you can hear from Lincoln Riley, and SC fans will say, okay, hey, you know what? I'm with him on this. Only thing he can say is, guys, I didn't think we're going to be in this spot. It's not acceptable that we're in this spot. It's not acceptable that we have X amount of losses. Oh, by the way, some of the games we won, we could have easily lost as well. If you're going to make a case that you had some close games that could have went your way, which I think you're selling a bag of you know what. Also talk about, we also had some other games. We just got to be better all around. Good teams, bad teams, ranked teams, not ranked teams. And I feel like that's lacking in some of what he's saying, that awareness, that humbleness, the ability to say that I painted a picture for everybody, and at least up to this point, that picture is not it doesn't look the way it is. I'm going to do everything I can to change it.
And the problem was exactly the problem we thought it was going to be. This wasn't out of left field where Caleb Williams got hurt in the third game of the season and the whole thing came unglued. Coming into the season, it's, hey, your defense sucks. That's fine. No, I don't think it is. And really, from the opening game, it was bad and continued to get worse. I'll throw this one in here real quick. We know that USC gave up 38 points to UCLA when they lost that game, right? 38 to the Bruins. The Bruins against Utah, Cal, Arizona, and ASU scored 31 points combined. So they scored more against your team than the 4 games they played prior to it. That's how bad your defense was, and you pretended it wasn't happening. You pretended that everything was fine. You brought back the same guy. There was the same defensive problem in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. You don't listen. You don't look. That if everyone's saying your defense is a problem, there's a chance that the defense is the problem.
I'm going to read one quote from his opening presser when he was introduced as the coach of SC. This place is going to be full. This is going to be the mecca of college football. I'm not big on false, hollow promises. I'm not going to stand up here and talk about all the different things that I think we can do. We see the potential there. We know what we've got to do, the work that we've got to do. And you could imagine the scene down here. Basically, painting the picture of, like, this is what it's going to look like. The worst thing you can do if it doesn't go as planned is say, yeah, but do you remember what it used to look like?
Yeah.
Oh, no. We were just a couple plays away from all of that happening. It didn't happen. This is the reality, and it didn't happen.
All right, so that's SC. What about UCLA? Because apparently they're cool.
Yeah,
we're just going to keep being completely irrelevant. That's next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN.
It is a live imaging Tuesday on Travis and Sliwa, made possible by our friends at the East Central Hotel. Discover the heart of downtown LA at the East Central Hotel. Trendy rooms, a renovated gym, and the Nixo Patio Lounge. The perfect stay for your next downtown LA game or event. Book now at eastcentralhotel.com or call 213-748-1291. Today, East Central Hotel Entertainment's official address. I'll be there. Yeah, the hand.
I love that.
You want to send a picture of the hand from
Loves
the
that
room?
hand.
Please.
I've gotten the Gretzky room two times in a row.
Gretzky, Madonna. I think there's a Whitney. There's a handful.
So we'll see what I get tonight. I'm staying 2 nights, and then Cappy's also at the East Central tonight.
You guys don't have to bunk together anymore?
No. That's only at Yamaha. We have to bunk together.
It's at Tobias Harris' room, too.
I don't
Is
think
there?
so.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what's going on.
Tobias has one.
So we're not going to get a robe pick this time? No
I mean,
robe?
we could.
You can do it. You should.
Are you a
do it.
robe guy?
Oh, yeah.
Are you?
Who's not a robe guy? They're comfortable.
I'm a robe out
I'm
of
not
the
a robe
shop.
guy.
Why are you guys not robe guys?
So I'm a
Very
robe-
comfortable.
I don't think I have enough
Not a boxer,
experience with the robe to really fully embrace it.
I'm
and-
not.
it's great.
Accept it.
I just shorts and a t-shirt if I'm.
But here's the
chilling.
thing.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So at home, I do robe out of the shower.
Okay.
It's nice. And then I take it off pretty quickly after because it gets warm.
Yeah.
But at a hotel, I put the robe on when I'm doing work and stuff because you're sitting on a chair.
You tying it?
No, I leave it open. Oh, yeah, what are you talking about? If I've got briefs on it, I'm leaving it open. Nobody's in the room. Even if somebody's in the room.
Even without.
Yeah. No, I feel.
Because the robe's underneath. It's got a layer of security.
I'm tying it up.
I'm not tying it
up.
tight.
So you
but-
got it tied up around your neck like this, like an old lady.
I don't want everything.
Why is Lee wearing a turtleneck?
They have to be done in the hotel. The robe in the hotel is a must thing. Outside of that, it's not necessary. You can be a non-robe guy outside of a hotel.
You don't want to, you don't want to. What was the term? Torch snuff?
Yeah, snuff your torch.
You don't want to snuff your torch that early in the morning.
The night that you and Cap came back because the pizza was in the fridge.
That was a few weeks back, yeah.
Robe across the street or no?
I'm so confused which way you're going.
So you were at the hotel. You stayed at East Central.
Right.
And
I think we went to a game. We were a little inebriated.
I thought you said that you guys late, like we're already in the hotel and then decided
on the
at
way.
some point.
No, I said I needed my bag back here before we went to the hotel.
And the soda.
And the soda. But then we ended up in the pizza boxes.
Because I would love if you just said, yeah, it was 2 a.m. in the morning. You woke up. You wanted a slice of
That's
pizza.
happened to me
Walked
before.
across the street
And
in
like
the
the
robe.
dude.
That's happened to me before, but not that night.
Big Lebowski. Yeah.
Not that night.
Not that night.
I came over for snacks once. Go ahead.
Nothing. I'm just listening.
Well, you were going to rip into Chip Kelly and UCLA, so Berg wanted to.
Oh, is that why
I think
you-
want to
you
help.
popped in?
I think he wants to help.
I mean, I will.
He doesn't
absolutely
need a
rip into-
reason.
I will
Well,
rip into Chip
he
Kelly.
usually
at any
only
time.
comes in for factor cap. He's 20 minutes early.
10 minutes early.
Well, you've been here for 5.
Wow.
Wow. Hostility here. Travis.
House over here.
It's not talking to me in the morning anymore. It's a whole-
My fault, bro. My fault. I feel like I caused this.
I
I'm the one that
you
said.
distracted by the robe talk, quite frankly. Because here's the
Slee
thing.
came over and talked to me and said, hey, we're going to talk about Chip Kelly. You want to come in? I said, sure.
You
Hey, so
demolished
it's your fault.
UCLA. It is my fault.
I don't have to do anything.
No. It is my fault. 100%.
The robe gets a little tight.
Huh?
There's I don't know if it's just the hotels I'm in. I need something that's a little longer, like
No, see, East Central gives. I know where you're going for us Husky boys.
Yeah.
East Central, it's a perfect robe.
All right.
And the slippers. I like a good hotel slipper. I'm in those things.
No.
Why?
I don't know.
Well, they're packaged.
I know. My feet are. I like to keep my feet in my shoes exclusively.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
They're not worn. If that's what you're concerned
I know
with.
they're not,
yeah.
but like sometimes on an airplane they'll offer you a little slipper action on
Yeah.
a longer flight. Hard pass.
Okay, here's
But
the
you're in a
thing.
hotel room. You're
I
naked.
I don't wear the
know.
slippers either, but
So wait,
I wouldn't have a problem with
Wait,
the slippers.
now we're going to get specific.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So you're in a hotel room that other people have stayed in.
Yeah.
Okay. And walked around in.
Yeah.
You get out of the shower.
Yeah.
You probably put a towel down for
Yeah,
the
you
water.
have to.
Correct.
Now your next move is what? Barefoot?
No, you can't go
I
barefoot.
get dressed immediately.
No, you don't. Not in the bathroom. You're not putting socks
Or
on.
you
in
put
the
some
hot-
sandals on.
No,
you put your own
I
sandals
will walk
on.
from the bathroom. I'll sit on the end of the bed.
So
and
how?
I'll get
So you're
dressed.
walking barefoot
for
This
10
is the
steps.
How
from
is
the
that
bathroom.
different than putting on
I
packaged
don't know.
slippers?
To
The
me,
carpets
it
are
is.
not good over there. So I
I'm
think
well
his
aware
case
of the
here
carpets and the
is-
bedspread and the remote controls. I understand all of these things.
The
I
Michael
don't like
Thompson
this,
thing,
I don't
which
like
is
to
not a
touch
bad
any of it.
idea of just
Not at
putting
But I
80
just,
towels out.
that little whatever it is, 10-step journey. I'm
Yeah,
comfortable
Trav-
with.
Okay, Trav wears his own shoes on his own couch, right?
That's right.
So it's like he's got weird foot things.
Wait. You wear your shoes
Yeah,
on
he
your
doesn't
couch?
take his
In my
shoes
house.
off.
Yeah, you don't have to take your shoes off at the Rogers house.
No, shoes, you walk in the door, shoes go off.
So his shoes stay on.
I don't do it at my house
even when
either.
he's watching a Dodger game at 9:30, shoes are probably still
They're
on,
not
right?
on the couch, but they're like hanging off.
But they're
the edge
on
of
your
the couch.
feet,
They're on my
as in
feet.
your He's keeping. Shoes
I don't.
on
I
more
also
or less.
don't walk barefoot ever in my house. I'll put flip flops on.
Almost never. Me neither.
Because it's hardwood and tiles. It's cold.
It's cold and it's just. I don't
and
know.
it doesn't feel good on the feet. It wears the foot
Trav,
down.
how weird are your feet? That's the real question.
Come on here. You can look at them if you want.
When he sleeps,
I think they're fine.
You know when people sleep and they have at the end of the bed, they just have their feet hanging out.
Right.
He's wearing Vans. His feet just hanging.
The taco ones.
Yeah, I have to.
I really hope you do take your shoes off to sleep.
I do.
Okay, at least so you can do that.
I'm not a
You know when
serial
you go,
killer.
you know when you're in a
home is
public,
is
you're at the gym and you use one of the public showers or something. You wear
I try not to do that.
you wear
either.
sandals.
Yeah, but
or
when
whatever
you
it is,
would,
right?
when that
I
happened,
can see you doing that in your own home, like you're wearing just sandals.
Shower
inside
shoes?
the
Shower shoes
Yeah.
in my own shower. Yeah, why
Very
not?
strange rules, especially inside your own home.
Yeah, I don't
like
to
that's
be barefoot.
your safe place.
It could be
do whatever
like
you want.
PTSD from Bobby never wearing shoes.
Could-
and I feel
oh,
like
definitely.
always
Well, he
that.
just doesn't want to
Michael
be like
losing
dad.
his shoes.
Could be that
He's like,
too.
I'm gonna be not like
I
you,
learned
Dad.
it not from you, Dad. Right?
hey, F you, Dad.
We've gotten close a few times.
What did he contribute to the Thanksgiving spread that you had? Did he help cook or clean?
Clean, yes, and he was actually very, very useful. That there were some other things that I don't want to get into that he took off of my plate that were very, very good.
Huh?
And we'll leave it at that.
He took off of your plate.
Yeah, not literally, metaphorically. There are
okay.
things that would have
He stole the
landed.
green beans.
Yeah, there were things that I may have had to do that I didn't because he did them instead.
Ah, gotcha.
I have
Oh,
a
nice.
picture of that. I could show you that later.
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
I know you
kinda
don't,
got
but
all
you'll
mixed
like.
up.
What I do
jumbled
know
up.
is when I put those slippers on tonight at the East Central, my downtown home away from home, you're getting a picture.
Fine. Good.
And in fact, you know what? They give me 2 pair.
Bring
I'm
me a
bringing
pair.
in a pair
Oh, yeah,
tomorrow.
that's good.
Set him
That's
in the
I like
hand
that.
and take a picture. You know how much I like the hand at the East Central.
Yeah.
Just put them right there with your keys and you don't have keys probably,
What?
right?
Well, there's
Completely.
key.
Completely on me.
Oh,
That was
You mean
on
like
me.
a car
I
key?
didn't have any
Yeah.
of those.
Well, I drive to the train station in a vehicle.
That's true. I forgot about that part. All right, he's got keys. What were we talking about? Why are you here?
Why do you hate Chip Kelly? I mean, I do too. So why
I
do you
don't
hate
hate Chip Kelly. I hate that UCLA doesn't care about their football program.
So do I. Do you see the banners that are going around outside?
I did. Read the room. That
Yeah,
one.
Yeah, read the room.
Yeah.
Fire Chip Kelly. Yeah, because he absolutely should be fired.
So USC
Will they or will they not?
No,
I mean,
no,
They
just
already
as
said
simple
they
as that.
said they're
He's
not.
staying.
Okay, so
They,
He's staying.
he's coming back because here's how you keep your job as the UCLA football coach.
Such a nonsense.
You go 34 and 34 in your was it 6 seasons, Greg?
6 seasons.
6 seasons,
Yep.
34 and 34. You win 0 bowl games.
0.
You finish in 7th place in the league out of 12 this year.
Uh-huh.
You have your 3 worst attended seasons in UCLA football history
Yep.
in the Rose Bowl since
Yep.
1982.
Wow.
And you keep your job. That's what UCLA is 100% comfortable
You know,
with.
you beat USC really badly, so that's what it did.
So did everybody else.
No,
I know.
Is there literally
It's not right.
what would be if you're just playing the other side? What would be the justification? What would be the other?
I
what would
can't
be,
even
He
tell
just
you.
said
there
it.
isn't
Yeah.
there isn't
Oh,
another
hold on.
there
There's
isn't
more.
another coach out there. There's like what would be the justification?
There's lots of coaches out
There's
there.
I'm
plenty
just
of
trying to
coaches.
think of.
Yeah.
DCs, OCs at places that you wouldn't even think of. And
Local
people-
high school coaches. I mean,
bringing
honestly,
someone from the NFL
go
that's going to get
Jerry
fired.
Faust.
There's plenty of people. Failed NFL coaches work very well in college.
So why
football.
then?
But also, he's been in his history at UCLA. He has 3 wins against teams in the Pac-12 that have winning records. 3 total in 6 seasons. That's not acceptable. And one of them was USC.
Well, it is
this year.
acceptable. So I guess
No,
what I'm trying to get at
no,
is
as a
why
fan,
is
as a
it?
fan he doesn't get into NIL. He doesn't recruit well. He has not had a top.
Doesn't do
top
interactions
30.
with donors.
Yep.
They don't
Donor?
do NIL like you said. And so to answer your question, Al, because they don't give a damn. They're going to tell you
And-
they don't listen to what they say, watch what they do.
Yep.
They don't care, or else this guy would be gone.
They're
Because-
gutlessly. They're gutless.
You're
Could
about
you
to go
imagine?
into the Big Ten.
You know who they haven't? Speaking of, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Well, thank
Here's
you.
who's on their schedule next year: Oregon, Penn State, Washington, USC,
and LSU.
and LSU.
I only see one win there.
SC, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
now. Relax.
LSU will
Okay?
probably-
Relax.
No, they'll
next
probably be
year.
back next year.
Yeah.
But this is the part that I'm still trying to figure out is, okay, what is the interest of UCLA not to care going into the Big Ten? There isn't also a justification of not to care.
It's what people think around the city. It's just like, oh, it's just UCLA football. That's what. Who cares? It's UCLA football. And the way that you say it all the time. Who cares? It's UCLA football. That's what most people think, and that's what we have to get away from. As a UCLA football fan, you can't deal with this mediocrity.
But hold on. You said most people. It's not just. It's the athletic administration that thinks that way. It's not me
I
or
love Martin
a
Jarman,
UCLA
but this
fan.
This is nonsense.
This is the administration is telling you they don't give a damn.
I know, that's exactly what it is. It should have happened after the massive loss against ASU, the worst team in the Pac-12. They didn't do it because they wanted to wait through the USC game. Some fake USC win that was complete fool's gold goes down. They're like, oh, okay, we'll beat Cal, and everything will be okay. We'll
scored
be
7 points against Cal.
The Cal one is really
the Cal.
The ASU was worse than Cal.
No, I know, but the Cal one, I mean.
After SC?
Yeah. They can just put up points against.
What was the high water mark as far as UCLA? When Dion came to town to the Rose Bowl, right? They sold 70,000 tickets because they wanted to watch Coach Prime, stand on the sidelines,
walk up and down the sidelines.
That's the highlight of their football. It was, but they've had their worst 3 attended seasons in Rose Bowl history.
Let me tell you something. I live in Pasadena. On a Saturday, I have no idea if UCLA is if they're home or away.
It doesn't
because
change.
it affects nothing.
It used to.
Of course, it used to.
Absolutely used to. And now, I know the whole thing that the school starts later, so the students aren't there until the middle of September, end of September. But it's awful. I had season tickets to UCLA football games for 15 to 20 years. I don't go anymore now because it's just nonsense, and nobody wants to go see Chip Kelly be mediocre.
UCLA administration does.
It's
they're running it back.
Coming back, I want to know why you're bleeding.
Chip Kelly.
You got to read, right?
I scrapped.
Chip Kelly.
Tell us about Sweet James. I'm just going to do what the afternoon show does. Tell us about Sweet James.
You want me to tell you about Sweet James?
Go ahead.
I'd love to tell you about Sweet James. Chris, if you get hurt in an accident, you need to call Sweet James, 1-800-9-MILLION, 1-800-900-0000. Because, Chris, if you get hurt in an accident, here's what you get if you call Sweet James. You get decades of experience. You get multiple attorneys looking at every case. You get somebody in Sweet James who used to work for the insurance companies, knows how they operate, and is not going to let them do it to you. So if you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, you too need to call Sweet James, 1-800-900-0000. Think of it like this. There's a lot of people like in your favorite sports league, right? And then there are all-stars, and then there are the MVPs. That's what Sweet James is. He's the MVP of this game. So if you're hurt, don't just call somebody, call the MVP. Call Sweet James, 1-800-9-MILLION, 1-800-900-0000, and of course online at sweetjames.com.
Hey, it's Corporate Greg Mason in Ireland.
In 1975, There are about 3.5 million cancer survivors in this country. Fast forward to right now where we are, you've got 18 million cancer survivors. That's because your donations have made an incredible difference. So if you are able, please give to at v.org/donate. Let me give you that again, v.org/donate. If you're able, please support the critical work of the V Foundation for Cancer Research.
Today is Giving Tuesday.
It's a day when people all across the country give back to support the organizations that mean the most to them in their communities.
We're celebrating today on 710 ESPN by supporting the V Foundation.
We know these are challenging times for everyone. If you're able, we hope that you'll choose to join us today on Giving Tuesday.
Go to v.org/donate now and help support the critical work of the V Foundation for Cancer Research.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then
Hey guys.
I am.
I promise not to bring up any more snuffing of torches for the rest of the show.
Why are people not happy with the snuffing of torches?
No, it's okay. I just think that we're talking about sports here, but
We are.
I do tweet about Survivor every Wednesday when I watch it live. So if you are a Survivor fan,
You should do an IG live after the episode. I'd actually watch it, even though I don't watch Survivor.
Yeah, maybe I'll think about it. So this weekend, Kirk Herbstreit and Reese Davis, they called together, right? They were not doing the Alabama-Auburn game.
Chris Fowler.
Oh, sorry. Chris Fowler, sorry. Chris Fowler and
Chris Fowler. I
Herbstreit.
shook my head when she said the first one. I said yes.
But Herbstreit, they were doing, I believe, the Florida State game at the same time at the end of that great Auburn-Alabama game. And Herbstreit, in the midst of the calling, was like punching
Got a little excited.
Fowler in excitement. And people were getting online saying that he's showing his bias here, that it's, everybody root for Alabama. So Herbstreit was showing his bias there. Travis Fettercap?
Cap. It's not a bias. He was watching something awesome, and he was excited by it, right? Kirk Herbstreit is a college football fan. Kirk Herbstreit is a former college football player. This is his livelihood. He loves it when exciting things happen in a football game. He doesn't love Alabama. He wasn't freaking out because Alabama won. He's freaking out because a 4th and goal from the 31-yard line hit. That could have been Air Force. It could have been Washington. It could have been Notre Dame or Miami. He was reacting to the play, not the team.
But not UCLA.
Yeah, he's a Buckeye, so I don't get it. Anyway, Cap, it was awesome. It was awesome to see that video.
Of course it was.
Because you're supposed to love sports. That's why we do this, right? You enjoy those moments, I think. Anyway, go ahead.
It's Cap. This is the thing I don't understand. Who's rooting for Alabama? Like, just in general.
That's awesome.
In general.
Alabama fans, that's about it?
Right. He's not an Alabama fan. It would make more sense if it's an Ohio State game that's on. If Travis is in the middle of doing a Rams broadcast and the Dodgers are winning a playoff game and he gets excited, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. He's probably not going to get excited if the Diamondbacks are doing something. Alabama's not a team that everybody says, let's root for Alabama. They're constantly winning. You're actually rooting against them. I don't have an issue with what he did. I think it was just a moment where
he reacted.
He caught up became a fan.
Okay. It was announced yesterday that Mark Cuban is leaving Shark Tank. I know it's a big shocker. I actually love watching Shark Tank when I'm home for the holidays. It's on cable for like 28 hours straight.
Oh, yeah. You're right about that.
So you think that you could sell something to Mark Cuban. Morales, Fettercap?
I'm confident.
Sharks.
I'm confident in my sales skills, but I say Cap. I don't think I could. I think I'd be intimidated by them.
Al?
Fact. I think I can. I don't know what the hell I'm selling.
Yeah, what are
but
you selling?
I gotta put
Pocket tot.
I gotta put myself. Look, that's the
Hey,
one
Sharks.
thing. I have to believe in what it is. That's the only chance that I got at pitching. You know something that they say. I haven't watched Shark Tank in a while, but Shark Tank. There was a while that I was watching it, and I really, really liked it. And what all the people trying to sell whatever product it is, the actual, what are they called? What's Mark Cuban? What are they all called?
The Sharks.
The Sharks.
I thought there was a different word. Anyways, one thing that they always say when somebody's pitching them something is, are you rolling up your sleeves? Like, are you the one actually picking up the phone and making the sales calls? A lot of people just do it for exposure, or they would do it because they want that person who has the contacts. I think I'd sell them on. I'm gonna do a lot of the grit work.
Trav?
No, I don't think I could do it. I think that in that environment where you got, what do you get, like a minute or two to pitch?
Yeah, a couple minutes.
Right?
Yeah, you get a few minutes.
Yeah.
That is, I'm better on a slow burn than I am in a very short burst. I would think, a little bit like Chris, I think I would, in the moment with all of the Sharks staring at you saying you got 90 seconds to impress me, I don't think I could close that deal.
I think Chris can create some type of a robe.
Yep.
that he'll sell the hell out of. Everybody's going to buy.
So Sharks, for $100,000 investment and 1% stake, I'll have this pocket tot, and then I'd go off.
But then you got to take the tots out of your pocket and start popping them into your mouth,
don't
right?
you
And they
have
got to be
this issue?
steaming, and they got to be everything.
Little hair
else.
on that one.
Don't you have this issue where you just want to eat your tater tots on the go, but you have nowhere to put it? You don't want to put it in a bag. You don't want to put it in your pocket because it'll make your pockets all greasy. I have the deal for you. You have a shirt lined with aluminum foil, and you can just pop it open and steamy.
That's when they
tater
stop
tots.
you and say, "Look, just give us a price. We just want to know how much to invest."
$100,000 with 1%
That's
stake.
the winning moment, right? Where you actually snap open the pocket and the steam comes out. That's
and then it's
the
so
winning
crispy,
moment.
it's not soggy.
Exactly right. Exactly.
Anyway, so pocket tot if anybody wants any.
Do
That's
the crunch effect again, please.
Good, that's very
it's me and my
crunchy tot.
sister's long-running inside joke. All right, so I'm gonna play this sound for you guys. It's from the Sunday Night Football game, and you know how they always do their introductions. You know, every guy. Oh, I'm from Lamar Jackson from Louisville University. Whatever.
Louisville.
So Lamar and OBJ had another thing in mind for their intro on Sunday.
Lamar Jackson, ball till you fall. OBJ, Timothy University.
So Lamar Jackson did Ball to Fall University, and then OBJ did Himothy University. All right, so you like it when they do something funny with these intros. Alan, Fetcher Cap.
Fact, it's just something different. I mean, it's so standard. We hear it all the time. Most of these guys, too, if they're popular enough, we know where they went to school. If we did our introduction, I'd say Kennedy Recreation Center. Just do something a little bit different, you know? So, fact, I do like it.
Trav?
I like it when they go something off of their normal, like Notre Dame, Ohio State, whatever. When they go high school, when they go something weird, elementary school or whatever, I do like it. I like it much more than the standard Michigan.
Morales?
I'm a traditionalist, Trav. Oh. And you're wrong. It should be traditional. There should be rules to this. No, I don't care. I love his post game. I love everything. I love the fact that he was in a bad mood for an hour during that game. If you notice, they kept going to him because he was always making a face.
Scowl on his face the whole time.
Yeah. Well, they did and they didn't. I think his offensive line was just not protecting him, and he was annoyed by not being able to get out of that trap. So it was fun. I love Lamar.
All right.
Emily's a big Ravens fan in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, I am obviously an anti-Ravens person. I do not believe in the Ravens whatsoever. But so one last thing from Sunday Night Football. One of the things that was shocking when we turned on the TV to put on Sunday Night Football was that Jason Garrett was on our screen for some reason. And because Chris Collinsworth was spending Thanksgiving with his family, though his son was working the game. Regardless,
let's just be happy they didn't throw the son in the booth.
Gosh,
Jack with no K.
So they were going to break, and then I'm going to play a sound for you. Mike Tirico is talking at the first, and then Jason says something weird, and I'm going to play it for you right now.
All right, Maria, thank you. I'm sure they missed you terribly in the studio
That's
today.
my buddy Maria right there.
That's right. I said, Sims was happy to get rid of you.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely. I know he was. I'm happy to get rid of him. Maria looks great, doesn't she?
Devin and Maria back there in the studio. It'll be a touchback.
So Jason Garrett needs to be stopped. Alan Fettercap.
I think fact, and I think all you got to do is just listen to that 10 seconds, and that's probably enough.
Laughing at his
there.
own jokes and also making everybody feel
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
I got
Trav?
uncomfortable.
The Maria Taylor line, whatever, it landed awkwardly. It wasn't a great moment to be sure, but it's what you just said a second ago. After everything he'd say, even if it wasn't a joke
constant
necessarily, if he just said, "Oh, that's a nice out route by Keenan Allen," it's like, what? That's not funny. Why?
Well, he was probably told to show more life and to be more
it
funny.
made it even creepier.
Be more
You know,
unauthentic.
Justin Herbert really needs to go to a secondary look there.
And then Tirico laughs.
It was
and then
weird.
you got two very dorky guys. And Tirico's a fine broadcaster.
Tirico's great.
Well, I wouldn't say great. He's
fine.
a fine broadcaster. He gives you nuts and bolts. He's fine.
Yes.
The
Okay,
look
he's
on
polished.
his face. Have you looked at him when you do the laugh?
Did
Because
the
you've
first
looked at
one
me
for him.
twice. I felt like
Yeah, to stop laughing at you. Like, I get it. I laugh at my own jokes, too. I think we're all guilty of
You do it a lot,
point.
too. You
That's
do it a
fine.
lot, too.
But
You don't laugh
not
at
when I
Sleeves,
say
though.
something.
Sliwa could say the
funny.
most hilarious thing. You're not going to budge.
You got that covered.
Yeah.
that was good.
See?
That was good.
It's on my first day. Emily.
That's it. That's Factor Kept, guys. We're snuffing torches.
I'm on a
over
heater.
here.
I'm on a heater. Now, if I were Jason Garrett, I'd say, I'm on a heater.
The look on his face.
It's a
I don't
weird
know
look.
what's going on there.
Yeah.
He's looked right into my eyes.
It's almost like the peacock thing where you have to like get yourself ready to go.
I gotta sit up straight.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure that my
It's best
diaphragm
that
is
listeners
exposed.
are not watching YouTube.
I know.
for just that
I'll do it
moment.
right into the camera. Hold on a second.
You got it. You have to.
Gerald Everett ran a beautiful route there. That's what he does. It's very, very odd.
Speaking of Sunday night's game,
guys zoom in.
we saw another time where Justin Herbert is
It reminds me of your Buffalo Bob or Buffalo Bill impersonation.
I'd coach you so hard.
Let's do that coming back because he's got to get the music.
Okay,
that reminds me of the old
you guys
Houston
do whatever
days.
you want to do.
Yeah. Go
I
ahead.
was going to say, Justin Herbert isn't clutch. When do we start blaming their losses on Justin as well? And Al has something from Subaru.
All right, don't miss the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event that's happening right now through January 2nd. How about this? After this 16th year of sharing the love, Subaru will have donated over $285 million to charity. It's one of the things I love most about this partnership with Sierra Subaru Monrovia. It's not just about selling cars. Yes, they have a great brand. Yes, Subaru is a beautiful, beautiful line of cars that they have. I've had the opportunity to drive multiple cars there from Sierra Subaru Monrovia, but it's more about that. Visit my good friends over at Sierra Subaru Monrovia as they are proudly supporting Foothill Unity Center and the Pavlov Foundation during the Subaru Share the Love event. Last week I was there right before Thanksgiving. They had a toy drive going on, did everything I can to help. You could go to the website, sierrasubaru.com for more information, or visit them just off the 210 and 605 freeway. Again, that's sierrasubaru.com.
And the Lakers couldn't keep the magic rolling on the road last night in
It's a live imaging Tuesday, 10 minutes in front of noon. Come on, Trav, do it. Come on.
I'd coach you so hard.
And then you got to do the dance.
It watches the receiver go over the middle.
Slee, you know the dance?
See it. Oh, yeah.
I hate this.
It throws the receiver open on the flat. It does this whenever it's told.
I hate it here.
I didn't write the movie, Em. And I
I
wasn't
know you
the one.
didn't.
That was when remember John Gruden had his chalk
Yes.
talk with all the potential quarterbacks that were going to be drafted in the next draft, and he'd bring these guys into this creepy trailer that they had, and they'd shoot these videos, and he'd look at a guy like Nathan Peterman. I'd coach you so hard.
You know, I say I couldn't pitch Shark Tank, but many years ago I pitched an idea. Sports station, 40% sports. And people accepted it. So, maybe I'm pretty good.
Shark Tank.
Just saying.
Hey, Sharks.
You would sell it.
Emily, I get the sense that you weren't a fan of my Buffalo Gruden.
Yeah, I really don't like that.
Why not?
It's like the opposite of ASMR. ASMR feels good in your ears and it scratches your brain in the right way. This made my brain want to just
That's the vibe you were getting is he's trying to coach quarterbacks. I'm like, I don't like
Here's
this
the
at
problem: is you weren't looking at her when you did it.
Don't look at her. Don't look at her.
Then it might help. It might
Travis
change your
also
opinion.
one time did an amazing
Billy Payne?
Billy Payne. And they did a
I'll
whole,
break it out when the Masters comes around.
But then he
in a few
did
months.
the bit actually wouldn't fly these days. This was 2012 you did it, but he did a whole voicemail. If you were calling Augusta that day, this is Billy Payne. And if you can imagine where the voicemail goes, hang up.
Hello, golfing people. My name is Billy Payne. If you would like to lodge a complaint about these golfers, press 1.
Oh, that's right. It was the Tiger weekend when they called in.
They called a
cheated.
penalty.
And he should have won that Masters.
If you would like to complain about VJ Singh, press 2.
VJ Singh.
Have you guys ever seen The Righteous Gemstones?
I know of it.
I watched half an episode.
Well, there's a character called Uncle Baby Billy, and he sounds exactly like that.
Like Billy Payne?
I'm Uncle Baby Billy.
Jim Nance, come in here and ask these boys some golfing questions. And then Jim comes in. It is the creepiest moment in television where he reaches out and Jim Nance walks in with his hands in his lap and goes, "Thank you, Billy."
And these small chairs.
In these teeny tiny little chairs. And he goes, "Congratulations to you, Jose Maria. And here's our amateur champion from Texas. Now, Jim, ask these boys some questions." And it's just so cringy and awful. That one, you mean? Just had to change it a little bit.
Those are some good days back then.
You got Morales going.
Well, it reminds me of being 10 years younger and 60 pounds skinnier.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, no, that picture of you and I, you can't even tell.
It looked like I was sick.
Yeah, you did look sick.
I was like underweight. This was unhealthy. Houston fixed that, though.
Houston took care of that?
A lot of chicken fried steaks in my Houston days. What else, Chris? What else did we used to do?
Guys going down memory lane.
Well, the show was called Travis Rogers. Now. Not tomorrow, but now.
Right now.
An hour later.
There would be the Friday Facts with Brian Beckner, where he would just say a bunch of funny stuff, but he would say fact after it all.
Yeah.
A cap. Factor cap.
Yeah, kind of.
But it was only fact.
It was just
and
facts.
All of it was cap, but he would say fact, and it was awesome. How you
Like
doing,
Justin
sir?
Herbert isn't clutch. Fact.
You should do that tonight on Lakers Talk.
How's everybody
They
doing?
lost by 46. Fact.
Oh, you got Lakers talk tonight. You got 4 days of Laker basketball this week.
Yeah, what do we talk about tonight? 40 down 44?
Talk about Jackson Hayes being a minus 9,000.
Will you open up the phone lines? Will you do instant reaction?
No, they'll always get a chance.
Will Johan Buhan be on?
No Jovan tonight.
No Jovan?
Should Billy Payne call in?
Yes.
By the way,
I need to know why Anthony Davis does not perform at a high level every single day.
Jorge,
Because
give me the Masters music. That's what the bid he's doing.
sometimes this young man plays like an MVP, and other times it's like an NBP. And no valuable player. He is the best. And is he no longer with us?
Thank you for calling Augusta now. Do it.
Hello. My name is Billy Payne.
I love how you love it.
I am chairman of Augusta National Golf Course. We here at the Masters value your input. If you would like to complain about Tiger Woods, press 1. If you would like Jim Nance to ask these boys some golfing questions, press 3. If you dislike VJ Singh as much as I do, press 7. That was what he would do.
It's like working on Paul Feinbaum all over. Hey, Paul.
You didn't know I had that Southern
Damn
gear,
Sooners.
did I? Did you?
Yeah, no, it's good.
How did I do? You're
pretty
from,
good.
Not bad.
And also from that specific area of Georgia, Augusta, Georgia.
I don't know where Billy's
I have
from
cousins
originally.
from there, but they do not have that accent. But I know that.
And if
created
you're-
his own accent.
If you're a minority or a
Paul.
female, hang up and try again.
Oh my God.
Well, it was Augusta.
It was, especially 15
If
years
you
ago.
are Martha Burke, call another number.
That is a deep pull. That's like my first year in sports radio, Martha Burke.
She didn't get what she wanted. Well, how about we're gonna boycott your sponsors? How about we don't have any? Now what?
Trust me, that's our backup plan here if somebody boycotts. Well, we'll go commercial free. Don't worry about it.
Go membership only.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Like a subscription podcast
Can't do
kind of
that.
situation?
Can't do it on radio.
I mean, you could.
You could.
Well, NPR's been doing it for 100 years. It's the same concept.
They have.
Not saying
but
that.
No, I was going to ask you to. I'm like, nah. I'm not
They
gonna
have,
do
but they still have plenty of partners.
Well, they donate. Just like technically the
yeah.
partners with Augusta, they're donating to be part of the broadcast so that it could be limited commercials. I can't wait for it. I'm already excited. Tigers on television.
He's playing next week.
I know.
2 weeks.
I thought it was this weekend.
How is he still?
Because he got another ankle surgery and all's fine.
Dude,
Much like you saw in the Rams game.
Bro, I can't
People
watch
passing out
him.
things for people. Literally, we were texting.
can't
What did they
watch
give
him
Matthew
anymore.
Stafford? It looked like a gummy of some sort.
So he looked.
And where can I get it?
He took what looked like a gummy, and was it Cup? The other one that's
No,
somebody
Puka. They literally
Puka.
put the
It was
pill
Puka.
in his mouth.
They put
like
through
you're at the
face
doctor's
mask.
office.
Through the face mask, they
Get
dropped.
outta here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm like, because I said to you, Em.
Yeah, you pointed it out.
But
Was that like an aspirin?
10 seconds before you texted, I'm like, what do they keep dropping in these guys' mouths?
Make it a little more
and
discreet.
then the visual of Christian McCaffrey getting his helmet tightened on the sidelines because his helmet he had to get replaced, like Frankenstein. Got some great gifts from this weekend.
LeBron seems to be taking last night's loss very seriously. If you would like to hear more about that, listen to Travis and Slee on 710 ESPN. All right, so let's talk about Prize Picks. Let's talk about
You got this guy dying over here, man.
We're not going to do like Prize Picks is awesome. Here's what it is.
Yep.
You pick between 2 and 6 players, and you can win up to 25 times your money, right? You look at the statistical projections, and you decide more or less. Do you think last night with Embiid for you, Slee, Embiid is going to have 32 more or less? You make your decisions, and you can win up to 25 times your money. It's super easy to do. It's an incredible amount of fun. And sometimes when games get a little wonky, like the Laker game, still a lot to pay attention to.
All right, Prize Picks is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. Like Trav mentioned, it's just you against the numbers instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks. You pick more than or less than on a 2 to 6 player stat projection and watch the winnings roll in. I just made my picks for tonight. Couple NBA games going on. Zach LaVine against Boston, the Bulls against the Celtics, 21.5 points. I went less than. Giannis going up against Miami, 30.5 points. I went less than. It takes about 60 seconds to submit your entry. Go to prizepicks.com/710. Use that code 710 for a first deposit match of up to $100. Again, prizepicks.com/710. Make sure you use that code 710.
o'clock in the Southland on a live imaging Tuesday. We're breezing with George Benson and Travis and Sliwa, the Travis and Sliwa Show, the mid-morning spectacular, where when you want torch snuffing, we deliver.
He couldn't stop
Pod
laughing in
has
the break.
spoken.
You killed this guy.
I'm trying to find the audio of the
original Billy,
the original Billy, and the original Buffalo Gruden.
I was trying to explain to Em during the break, and she wouldn't even look at me. I was trying to kind of
She
take
said,
her
"No,
back
keep
in
talking.
time
I'm just going to go to the other
to
studio."
2010, which
Busy.
is when that showed up, and it was just incredibly strange how intense John Gruden was talking to these potential draftees. Very, very intimate.
He might be in Indiana soon.
He might be. He might be. What are you looking at, Christopher?
I found the email with the composite that has this audio from. That's why I just keep upgrading my Gmail to like whatever it costs, because I keep every email. You never know when you're going to need something. I sent this and produced it June 24th, 2011. So for people that don't understand the depth of the history of Travis and I, if there's ever a behind the music when I'm gone about me,
I'll be feature player.
Yeah, you'll be like, yeah, you know.
Let's see. Let me tell you about this. The industry golf course one day when we went out there and really got into it. That was probably the
that's when I slept in the
pinnacle.
parking lot for like 8 hours. They woke me up at like midnight. Sir. It's like, whoa. Where's Trav?
I took an Uber home that day, and Susan's like, "Where's your car?" I'm like, "It's at the golf course."
There's a lot going on.
Listen, hun, don't worry about it, okay?
There's a lot going on.
I will need you to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to drive me back there to go get my car. Happens. What are you gonna do?
Is she officially done with her Christmas decorations? I have a feeling she just
we're
killed
in
it for the
we're
last
in the,
couple days.
Staging phase.
The funny thing about that is they talk about it in front of us when we're at the house.
Mm-hmm.
And I always insert, this is like the third time I've done this when I've been, because they talk about the Christmas. I'm always like, yeah, we should totally do this around Christmas so we can see it. Nobody responds. They're like, Chris, you're more of a summer guest. Maybe September for your birthday, we'll push it a little bit.
Not
but
around the holidays.
Once the holidays begin, we'd rather you're not here.
I feel like you're reading the room correctly.
The window is July to September. That's the window. He's outside.
The college football season is Morales season.
Yeah. You're actually right. You're outside.
Still in the college
You're
football
outside.
season.
We don't want any excuse.
Regular season only.
We don't want the elements out there that forces him inside. Over the weekend, or was it 2 weeks ago, that I found the picture? It was a year ago of Jorge falling asleep. I have a great picture of him just asleep on the couch.
Knocked out.
Yeah, he ordered. He's basically said that's his.
That's my spot. Right
yeah,
there.
that's his
I
area.
saw it on the picture for Thanksgiving. I was like, "Yep, that's my spot, Brenda, right there. That's where I fell
That's his
asleep."
real estate.
Yeah.
Don't forget, Thursday, we're back at it. Thursday Night Football at Yamava Resort Resort Casino, the 909 Sports Bar. Excuse me, but this is special because we are going to bring Steve Mason with us in the family
very
truck.
nice.
So we will broadcast live 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. because there's a Lakers game. And then we're going to hang out for Thursday Night Football. Who's playing Thursday night?
Cowboys and the Seahawks.
This is a big game. Cowboys
There you go.
Seahawks.
Big for the Rams that the Cowboys can beat the Seahawks.
Big for sure.
It's going in there. First of all, Minnesota losing last night.
Minnesota.
That helps.
Kansas City plays Green Bay this weekend.
Right.
That could help.
Yeah.
The Dallas game that we just talked about could help. The Rams could be in 7th place in the NFC by the end of Sunday afternoon.
They have to take care of business, though.
Can you imagine?
They do.
Can you imagine your gritty little Rams sneak in?
You ready for my kind of fun but nightmare scenario? They win on Sunday. They beat the Browns.
Do I kind of know where this is going?
They have Baltimore. They're not going to win in Baltimore.
No.
They come home for Commanders, win. Thursday night, short week against the Saints.
You don't believe in
win.
Ron Rivera to take care of the
I do
Rams?
not believe in Riverboat Ron. Beat the Saints on a Thursday night. Now all they have to do
Now it's all on the line.
is go to New York and beat Tommy DeVito and the Giants, and that's your 9th win of the season.
Right.
And you're in great shape. 9's going to get you in the NFC West or in the NFC, and they spit the bit against a really bad Giants team. Because then the last game of the season against San Francisco,
They're not
which
winning.
is that's asking a lot.
But Travis, you said this.
The Rams, you ready? The Rams are going to make the playoffs.
Come on, he said that
They
back
might.
in September.
They might.
They're
I
game one.
may have been right.
Maybe
Save
game
that
two. Sorry,
game
game two.
Save that clip if they lose to the Giants. Then
Oh,
we can
no,
play that
I'm
one.
But no,
saving
play
it
this
forever.
one. Play the one that I just said about losing to the Giants. Because they're not going to beat Baltimore, San Francisco. They got to win on Sunday. They win Sunday, they're in great shape.
By the way, how has Jack Del Rio not been named the DC of USC yet?
He must not want that job because that.
Don't you
job's-
remember years ago when we
I
were trying to
do.
get him the USC head coaching job?
that's
You and
what
Key.
and he never really, according to people that I've heard from, he's never really pursued that job. He fancies himself an NFL guy and doesn't want to do the college thing.
He would be a hero.
Okay, I get it. He was an All-American there. Everything that
Played
goes
baseball,
along with it.
too.
He caught Randy Johnson, believe it or not.
See?
Does the average USC person know Jack Del Rio anymore?
But the boosters know him. That's all that matters.
Yeah, but what if he's not
Let
good?
me tell you who they feel they don't know at the moment is Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln?
And that sets up Lincoln because, okay, let's say you have to cut bait. You move Jack Del Rio right up. Everybody feels good about it.
I'm getting Jack to 60-something?
Gotta be.
Yeah.
By the way, the only...
Also, right now, Cliff Kingsbury is still on that staff, so
that is true.
Move Cliff right up, too.
Isn't Cliff the same as Lincoln Riley, though? Aren't they the same guy?
They have the same haircut, the same looks, but,
he
it's
probably doesn't want the job.
The guy sitting next to you on your flight home kind of fit into that mold?
Nope, not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Okay.
The only real season of Inside the NFL I really enjoyed was the Jaguars year. When he would cut guys, he would take it emotionally. He'd be like, they'd show him having to decompress with his coaches. Like, oh man, that was a tough one.
His players loved him.
Oh, they loved him. He had a couple good teams, those Jaguar teams.
He had a good team in Oakland.
That's true. Yeah.
Then they blew him out to go get John. Oh, you got to go get John Gruden. I remember
Buffalo Gruden.
At the same, you guys remember, John Gruden sucked after they won the Super Bowl. Like from that moment forward, they were not a good football team, and he was out of the league for 10 years. So you got to go get him. Why? Never made any sense.
And then Gruden to Indiana.
He probably doesn't want to. He probably doesn't want that gig.
Del Rio?
Mm-hmm.
No, he would have had it by now if he wants it because it's come open way too many times. So the Lakers, we talked about how they lost by 44.
Yeah.
Here's my question, Slee, because it happens once or twice, whatever. Maybe if it happens 3 or 4 times, okay. But it happens in about half the games they play. They're putting themselves at such a deficit. They're behind by 10 points, 12 points, 15 points. And yesterday against Philly, in the middle of the second quarter, they were down by 25. I don't care, even if you're playing a team as bad as the Pistons.
Yeah.
If you spot them a 20-point lead early in the game, they're probably not giving that thing back. And this has become a really bad habit with the Lakers.
All right, I'm going to read. Emily grabbed this for us. They've now trailed by 12 points at the end of the first quarter in 8 games this season. All right? So 8 games this season, they've trailed by over a dozen or more at the end of the first quarter. That's twice as many as any other team this season. The Chicago Bulls have trailed by double digits by 4 at the end of the first quarter. So think of all the crappy teams in the NBA. Think of the Detroit Pistons. Think of the Washington Wizards. Think of the worst of the worst. Chicago, another bad one. The Lakers have twice as many of those predicaments where they're digging themselves a hole. What's the excuse to be down by double digits? Last I checked, AD and Braun are still pretty good. Last I checked, you have some of the right role players that you need on this team. Last I checked, Darvin Ham is your head coach, guy that took you to the Western Conference Finals in his first year. How can they be so bad to start out games? And I have heard this, and I'll get your thoughts on it. There have been those who have been critical on Darvin Ham to start out the season, especially the way that the games are going in the first quarter. I don't know who to point the finger at, but Darvin Ham, let's just use him as an example. Your guys not ready? Are they not paying attention to your message? You're digging yourself such a hole to start the game. You might be able to come back and make it a game against Dallas. You might be able to come back and win against the Blazers. Against a good team, you said this when we were prepping. You fall down by 20 against Philly, you're not winning the game. The game is over. Philly's
Quite
too
frankly,
good of a team.
You fall behind by 20 to anybody, you're probably not winning the game.
Probably right. Why do they have such this puzzling start to begin these games? And the only difference yesterday was when the fourth quarter came, instead of chipping into that 20-point deficit, they ended up losing by 44. They were down 45, 46, whatever it was. I do think there's something there from is the coach's message not getting through to start out these games?
So I think that's the part that's interesting to me. It's not so much the why. I don't know.
Or maybe it's LeBron and AD. Hey, you guys.
So the why to me is, well, you're just not playing hard enough. You're not ready to go. So that's the why. It's the who. Whose fault is it? And there's really only 2 candidates as far as I can tell. It's the head coach who, to your point, guys, we're not ready to play at the start of a lot of these games. Whatever the pregame, processes are, they're not working. Your guys are not ready to go when that ball gets thrown up. That's on the coach. And if it's not exclusively on the coach, it's on your best player for setting the tone correctly out of the gate. That's LeBron. And I think Darvin Ham is a good coach. LeBron, we all know who LeBron, he's LeBron James. I don't need to add anything to it. But one of those two guys needs to insist on more effort, needs to insist on more intensity, needs to insist on better play, because once you get through that first quarter, the Lakers are a pretty darn good team. But it's
So
not
weird.
It's not just it's kind of a habit that they've fallen into. And I know how they would handle this in baseball. Okay, I know how they would handle this in football. I don't know what the NBA equivalent.
How would
of
they
this.
handle it in baseball?
So-
How would they handle it in football?
They'd cut somebody. And it wouldn't be the last guy on the bench. It wouldn't be the best player either. But I'll use an example. The Raiders yesterday fired Marcus Peters. Okay, they benched him in the second half of the game against the Chiefs, and then late last night, early this morning, they basically moved on from him. Marcus Peters has been in this league a long time and has played at a very high level for almost every team. He's been in Kansas City, he's been in Baltimore, he's been at the Rams. He's been around a lot. He's a really good player.
Can I ask you a question? How much of that was it's Marcus Peters and he's just not as valuable as he used to be? How much of it was we're sending a message?
Both. It's both. He's not playing up to the standard, and by cutting a veteran guy, we're going to send a message to
That
everyone
trickle
else
effect.
that, hey, we're not blanking around. The Dodgers, for instance, and not that they have cut this guy, but it would be a player like in the Kike Hernandez range. You're not doing it to Mookie. You're not doing it to Freddie Freeman. You're not doing it to Will Smith. But one of these kind of utility guys, doesn't play all the time, but plays enough, and it's wait, he's gone? Why? Because we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, and everybody kind of perks up a little bit. That's how they handle it in those sports. I don't know what the NBA equivalent is, but whatever it is, it needs to happen.
Could I tell you what I think it was early on? I thought early on it was, well, we're going to try something different. Reeves is coming off the bench. We're going to just change I think that's a way to send a message early on. They changed, listen, 5 games in, Darvin Ham was already questioning the effort of the Lakers. And then a few more games in, it was, well, we're going to make a change at our starting lineup. Austin Reeves is going to come off the bench. So I think they've tried to address it a couple times.
Hasn't stuck.
And nothing has worked.
Yeah,
no,
it hasn't
worked.
stuck, so try something else.
They've played 17 games. I think 17 or 18, whatever it is.
I think they're 10-8.
8 of those games, you're down double digits at the end of the first quarter. That's an unreal stat.
Part of it is on LeBron, too, because if LeBron started calling guys out publicly or privately, if LeBron started saying, hey, look, we're not playing enough.
He might have said something yesterday.
Yeah, we'll play some of that
Yeah.
because he said they need to change a lot of things. In fact, let's play this, and then when we come back, we got a couple of things that we need to do. But let's start right here.
What's going through your mind about what needs to change for this to not happen again?
What needs to change in order for that not to happen again? A lot.
Is there anything in particular?
Not a lot.
just a lot. So we'll get into that. Plus, coming up, Shane Jacobson, the CEO of the V Foundation.
There you go.
He will join us next. We'll talk a little bit about Giving Tuesday. That's coming up next on Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. Each year during V Week, we honor Jim Valvano by supporting the V Foundation for Cancer Research, the foundation he announced in his unforgettable 1993 ESPY speech. Jimmy V's message of don't give up, don't ever give up, means more now than ever before. So we come together with the shared mission to accelerate victory over cancer and save lives. Think about this. In 1975, there were about 3.5 million cancer survivors in the United States. Fast forward to where we are right now in 2023, 18 million cancer survivors, and that's because of your donations to organizations like the V Foundation. If you are able, please give at v.org/donate. If you are able, please support the critical work of the V Foundation for Cancer Research, and 100% of your donation goes directly to game-changing cancer research.
Today is Giving Tuesday.
It's a day when people all across the country give back to support the organizations that mean the most to them in their communities.
We're celebrating today on 710 ESPN by supporting the V Foundation.
We know these are challenging times for everyone. If you're able, we hope that you'll choose to join us today on Giving Tuesday.
Go to v.org/donate now and help support the critical work of the V Foundation for Cancer Research. And Sliwa on 710 ESPN.
So, of course, as we've been hearing this morning, today is Giving Tuesday. So it is with our great pleasure that we bring on Shane Jacobson, who is the CEO of the V Foundation, joining us right now. Shane, appreciate you coming on. How you doing today?
Yeah, Travis and Alan, thank you for having me. It's great to join you on 710 ESPN. It's a great day, Giving Tuesday. We appreciate all that you're doing to shine a spotlight on the opportunity to invest in the future of cancer research and at the end of the day, save more lives.
Yeah, Shane, I'm looking at some of the materials here, and I keep looking at this number, and this is the one that just blows me away, that you go back to 1975, and there are about 3.5 million cancer survivors in the United States. Here we are in 2023, and it's 18 million. I mean, the jump there. And then the projection moving forward to 2040 is about 26 million, and it's because of the V Foundation. It's because of organizations that are researching and treatments for cancer that we've been able to treat this many more people that would not be cancer survivors. They'd be cancer victims.
You're spot on, and it's a privilege to do this work. The V Foundation, we aspire to close our doors. Ultimately, that's what we're trying to do. Jimmy V would, I think, inspire all of us to ultimately achieve the mission that is victory over cancer, but the numbers that you reference are certainly not by accident. And it's a total team. The V Foundation, of course, plays a critical role in all of this. Our methodology, as donors give 100 cents on every dollar. It's very rare in the charitable space. We have an endowment that covers our administrative expenses. 100 cents on every dollar goes directly through the V Foundation to the very best research, cancer research in this country. And we have a process that we go through to identify what that is. And we've got a lot of partners in Southern California. They're USC, UCLA, City of Hope. They compete. They put the best ideas they have, often with young scientists with new ideas, and we fund the cream of the crop. And cancer research everywhere helps cancer patients everywhere. And we're going to keep doing this work and appreciate the partnership.
Shane, we know that the V Foundation for Cancer Research started back in 1993. Can you give us just what the hope is, what the vision is over these next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years? I know what the overall goal is. I love what you said there. Our goal is to close our doors. That's a very powerful thing to say. In the immediate future, what are some of the goals that those who are out there that are going to donate know where their money's going?
So, if we look to the future of cancer research, the next decade is going to be full of the word you just used, hope. I think the V Foundation, certainly since Jimmy V gave his famous "Don't Give Up" speech, hope is the currency that we deliver. And going forward, that hope is really exciting with the acceleration of technology, the role of artificial intelligence, the greater impact that immunotherapy is having on cancer research, right? Harnessing the body's own immune system to find cancer. Cancer is really good at hiding. The immune system can't always find it. So we are investing in game-changing research to harness the body's immune system to find that cancer, fight that cancer, and beat that cancer with targeted therapies so that when receiving cancer care and treatment, the treatment itself isn't as damaging on the body. And I think that connects also to the caregivers involved too. There's a lot of caregivers, I'm sure, family and friends and colleagues, et cetera, that are listening right now. What the families go through is really significant. And so if we can reduce those burdens in the next 5 and 10 years, we'll see more than 25 million cancer survivors in this country in the years ahead. Cancer survivorship is only going to improve and increase. I'll give you one more statistic that really we celebrate. In the mid-'60s, a child, Dick Vitale, we all know Dick as a member of the V Foundation board. He raises a lot of money for us and is passionate about kids and cancer. 58% of those parents and those children in the 60s that heard you have cancer had a 5-year survivor rate. And I can't think of anything worse than having a child and being a parent and hearing those words. Today, 85% survival rate. And so while we celebrate the great impact of cancer research that has provided those opportunities, we also double down on our efforts like Jimmy V would want us to do, because we haven't won the championship yet. Maybe we're in the Sweet 16, maybe we're in the Elite 8, but we haven't won the championship yet. So we still have work to do, and we're going to go fund the very best that we can possibly find.
Shane Jacobson, the CEO of the V Foundation, joining us here on Travis and Sliwa. And it's funny you put it like that, Shane, because, I'm old enough to remember when Jim Valvano won the national championship at NC State. And I still, when I hear his name, I think of Jim Valvano, basketball coach. But for several generations since then, it's Jim Valvano from the speech. It's Jim Valvano from the V Foundation, and that is his legacy, and that you get to participate in moving that forward and trying to continue to push in the ways that you just described. What an amazing legacy to live. Like, winning a championship is one thing, but trying to end cancer is something entirely different.
It really is. Jim's legacy is multidimensional. The national championship every March, right? One shining moment. Sure. You see Jim running around the court looking for somebody to hug. But it is the impact I think he's had in the cancer space by way of the V Foundation. Of course, ESPN, what you all do to amplify this story every year is something unique and special. It's really second to none. And then the donors that respond to this keep that legacy, keep that hope, as we talked earlier, alive. Jim's legacy is going to be, I think, felt right for generations. And we look at, again, going back to that research portfolio, would donors go to v.org to learn more, potential donors. Certainly, if you can give, we invite you to give at v.org/donate. Since 1993, this goes back to Jim's legacy, right? We have funded more than $350 million of cancer research. And if we follow those more than 1,200 researchers that we funded, often we invest in them in the early stage sort of seed funding concept, right? They've got a new idea coming out of an established lab. They want to move it over to the next swim lane to make a difference, create new knowledge. We invest in that new knowledge. Those researchers have taken our $350 million of investment, which is through the donors that give. Those researchers, in the 30 years we've been in existence, have gone on to secure individually or as part of cancer research teams an additional $19 billion of funding. So you look at more than a 60x return on every dollar we put into the research space. We're very efficient. We find the best research, and those researchers go and make a big, big difference, which ultimately saves more lives.
Shane Jacobson, who is the CEO of the V Foundation, taking some time here on the Travis and Sliwa Show. Shane, final one for me. I think something that you said earlier is so important, that 100% of the donations are going directly to game-changing cancer research. That is very unique in the sense that you guys are able to use every penny that is donated to go towards the greater cause. Can you just explain a little bit how you guys are able to do that? Because I know that is not a common thing within the space.
Yeah, great question. The V Foundation, we enjoy a $40 million endowment. So it's an asset that is an asset at our charity that is an unrestricted endowment. Many charities have endowments, and many of those endowments are restricted for specific use. Our board, they've been very smart stewards of our resources since 1993, with many gifts to the endowment, support from corporate partners, including ESPN. So we've been able to build this asset, and because it's unrestricted, it provides for our overhead, salary and travel, and that website that people will visit, marketing, etc. So it allows that asset to be encumbered instead of the donor gift to be encumbered by the administrative overhead. Additionally, I might note in this space, we carry a 4-star Charity Navigator rating. And for those of you listening at home, that's an important rating because it evaluates both the efficiency of the organization, but also year over year, the growth of investments in the programs of a charity. And to get 4 stars mean you remain hyper efficient and you do more and more program impact. And we're now more than 12 years running, receiving this 4-star rating, which puts us in the top 2% of charities in America. There's many great charities, many great cancer charities, and we think we're delivering a level of efficiency and high impact at the end of the day that's focused on our mission to achieve victory over cancer that's second to none.
If you would like to contribute to funding that victory, you can go to v.org/donate. Let me give it to you again. It's the letter v.org/donate. That's Shane Jacobson, the CEO of the V Foundation. And on Giving Tuesday, no better time to talk about the V Foundation. Thank you, Shane.
Appreciate you guys. It was an honor to join you.
Thanks, Shane.
That's 100% of every dollar that goes in gets actually turned into research. That's not how that works.
It's very unique.
It's incredibly unique. Like you said, top 2% of charities right there. So if you can, go to v.org/donate and make your donation in the fight against cancer and cancer research. So the Lakers last night, we played the LeBron sound. What needs to change moving forward? We'll hear more from LeBron, and we'll try to figure out what some of those things may be. That's coming up next. It's Travis Lee, 710 ESPN. Rotolo Chevrolet, R-O-T-O-L-O, RotoloChevy.com. You can go online, and you're going to get the great deals there. You're going to get the great customer service there. But if you really want to experience it firsthand, you got to get yourself into Rotolo Chevrolet in Fontana. Right off the 210 freeway, Sierra Avenue exit. You can't miss it. It's the place with all the Silverados. Every make and model that you can think of, Chevy cars and trucks. And it's the place that's won Dealer of the Year 13 years in a row. Think about that. There are a lot of Chevy dealerships out there, right? But they've won Dealer of the Year 13 years in a row. How do you do it, right? Well, got to have the right car and truck. You got to have great pricing. But what they have that very few others have is customer service that is impeccable, right? This is how you win Dealer of the Year every year, by being courteous, transparent, upfront, so you feel good about it. How do I know? I bought a car from Rotolo Chevrolet. I've been through the entire process, from Mike Capozio, who you see on TV, with Eddie, with Armando, with Frank, with Jabari, with Owen, all of the people that I've met at Rotolo Chevrolet, they're all committed to the same thing, making sure that you get exactly what you want at the price you want, and you're going to feel great about it. Go see for yourself what all the fun's about at Rotolo Chevrolet, right off the 210 Sierra Avenue exit in Fontana, and RotoloChevy.com.
Oh, this wasn't playing last night in Philly. But happy birthday to the legend, Randy Newman. Of course, did so many movie compositions, television shows, and of course this song.
Toy Story.
Yeah, and I wonder if it was one of those things where like they had this song and they're like trying to get people to record it and everyone's like, nah, what's the point? So he just said, I'll do it myself.
It's the anthem of L.A.
It is.
Every game that's won, you play it. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Everybody knows the words. Everybody knows the music, the rhythm, the whole thing.
We love it.
It's an anthem.
Yeah.
And you can even play it when you lose by 46 in Philadelphia.
Only 44. How dare
44,
you?
sorry.
Come on, bro.
How dare you?
The hell was that?
Trying to make it sound like it was bad. It's only
44 is respectable.
Yeah.
I like to think about the Super Bowl instead. You know, when this played after the Rams won, they played this in California Love. It was great.
It's funny. They play it, like you said, Em. They play it everywhere when local teams win, but I most closely identify it with the Laker win. That's still
Streamers
the one
come
that I
down.
think-
And,
Yeah, every time.
It's a live imaging Tuesday with Travis and Sliwa, made possible by our friends at the East Central Hotel, my home away from home. Cappy's home too, here in downtown LA. Now I gotta ask something, because we know Slee has signed up for our ESPNLA Secret Santa. Did you sign up?
You're in?
I did yesterday.
You're in.
I did.
Okay. Mason's apparently in. Producer Emily, producer Jorge.
Not yet.
Yeah, I have to check the email.
I think we've got a funny bit that if you don't want to, because it's $25 limit. That doesn't mean it has to be $25. Travis might go $5. But what
10 at least.
if anybody who doesn't want to actually throw down the $25? Now you hosts should, because you're egregiously paid. But everybody else, like us, on behind the scenes, we should just have Cappy give us sided gear from his side company, and we all just give sided gear.
That's pretty good.
How great is that? And
it's-
Cappy's in on it because it promotes his company.
He gets
He's all
something
for
out of
it.
Yeah.
And everybody's just getting sided T-shirts and hats. And the people on the other side of the building, our sales team and market, are going to be like, what the hell is this?
What's not safe is there's some great items in the studio. I mean, we got the tequila right there.
Oh, no, you can't touch that.
We got the Sunday Swagger polo right there. Some of these might get used.
The Ireland cutout. The life-size Ireland
Wrapping
cutout.
the whole thing up.
Did you get Ireland? Did you get Sedano? Did you get Slee? Who did you get?
By
Maybe
the way,
this is how we find the Mandy's 2 banners.
that came up in a meeting today. And
The banners?
I think we got them. We're going to use them for something else, though.
Oh,
Because
you have them?
I believe we have them.
Okay.
But I really,
We should hang them here in LA Live.
but they're really big.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
But we also need new cutouts. Carl and I are yelling at Tommy.
Do
we need
we?
some. Yeah, we need new cutouts.
I don't know. Like everyone looks pretty much the same.
Nah, not Trav's.
We need.
And Sedano's is literally from 2016. That wasn't even his suit. He had to like put on clothes from the TV department. So he's wearing like baggy Dockers. That's not really a Sedano thing. So I think we need new cutouts. Plus, we don't have a Cappy one. We don't have a Slee one.
yeah.
Just because I have a beard.
I don't even know where Mace's. I don't know if we ever had a Mason one. We had to have.
I've seen a Mason.
Yeah, I think we have a Mason.
Yeah.
Is the orange folded that one
Maybe.
with the
The
vest?
only ones that pop up, well, still see keys.
That's it. That's at my office over there.
Ireland.
Yours
me.
was in the hallway.
Mine was
That
in the
like-
little.
I see it right
yeah,
here.
Yeah, you can
taking
and
a
then
look
staring
at us
at us
every
all.
time
I was
we
looking
walked
through
in.
the frosted glass for a few months. Like just keeping
That was
an
a
eye on
little
everything.
nerve-wracking.
It was a little weird.
And the
There's a
guy
picture-
holding the Las Vegas thing back there.
By the way, there's a picture of Trav. It's in one of our old Keyshawn, my memorial over there in the other room. And it's one from one of our first remotes we did with Trav on the show. And it was a picture that they must have taken. Trav had been on a bender before they took this, and he's wearing a full suit. Now, when you wear a full suit, you don't open the shirt. You get all that scabadich right up there. You know what I mean? And he didn't have the beard, and he still was holding on to the Bob's Big Boy haircut. And it's a lot of face. I want to turn it around because every time I walk in there, I'm like, oh, I feel bad for Trav. He looks so much better now, which is a compliment.
Was this the suit that you ran with for like a good?
Still have it.
You don't still.
There's
have
no
it.
way that suit fits.
I'll wear it to work tomorrow.
It's the back suit.
No,
It's a big suit.
I'll wear it to suit. I'll wear it to work.
I'll wear it to
tomorrow.
work tomorrow.
Listen, how long did you have that suit for?
I still you're still talking about it in the past tense. I still have it.
Let's put it this way. It's like you got a new car, and you got a new suit.
Yes.
You didn't get rid of the old car,
Right.
But the old car's in the garage. It's not parked outside anymore. Like you're not using it as often.
Yeah.
How long did you have the old car for?
That suit is 12 or 13 years old.
Why'd you keep it?
Because it still works. It's a dark suit.
It's like a brown suit, too.
No, it's not. It's navy blue.
You have to have a lot of suits to have a brown suit.
It's not a brown suit.
It's a brown suit.
It's a navy blue
But he
suit.
had
It's
one
not a brown
go-to suit.
Still
By the way,
do.
Mason
Now
just
I have two.
texted that he needs a new cutout. That's what it was. The one I remember, we had all these cutouts made.
Yeah.
The lineup was intact for a moment, and he said, "Oh, I look fat in it." And we're like, "Shut up, Mace. We just spent all this money." And nobody can find it. So I guarantee
so he has it.
he came in here in the middle of the night, him and Juan, and sold the cutout.
Well, Mace is in
looks
much
great.
different shape now. He's in great shape.
No, absolutely. We need new cutouts.
I'm wearing the suit tomorrow, Slee.
Are you going to go?
Awesome.
Sure.
I
why
want
not,
to see
right?
it. Please wear the suit tomorrow. It's a short show tomorrow too, right? So
Combo plate.
yeah,
I wear.
perfect.
You know what? New
Every
rule moving
combo.
forward. Every time there's a combo plate, I'm wearing the suit.
wear a suit, and then you'll be the only one
Well,
dressed up.
okay, to be fair,
He has
I have two.
He has one that's 13 years old and one that he just got a year ago.
2 years ago. It's made it through 2 Mandys. You're like, you need to get a new suit because you look the same in both of these pictures.
You can suit up like a Barney on How I Met Your Mother.
You're gonna look like a head coach. Like
This year we're going to do some sort of bit. Whether
That's
it's tuxes, we're going to figure this out. Because Mandy's 3 needs to be unlike anything else.
Sure.
Ever
Yeah.
before. I want a laser
I can wear
light
the
show.
Other suit.
Laser light show? Do
Maybe-
you need an ice sculpture that says
maybe an ice
ESPNLA up
sculpture.
front?
there's just those drones that are doing the shows.
Oh my gosh!
We're
I
out of
saw
money.
one of those the other
We
day.
went bankrupt. Why did we go bankrupt? We did a drone show for Mandy's 3.
Guys, I want 5 minutes of Billy Payne. Travis doing Billy Payne.
And then
saw-
30 minutes of the Cam Brothers. A whole set.
I saw a drone show the other day. I think for Thanksgiving night they had one. I forget where. It was amazing. Like fireworks, they're dead.
Oh, no,
we're done with fireworks. The drone
fireworks
show
industry.
is so much better.
Do not
It's
invest in the
incredible.
fireworks
First of all,
industry
whoever's
anymore.
got the Disneyland contract, that's got to be $100,000 a night.
Oh my gosh!
It's got to be. The amount of fireworks going off?
They're every night for 365 nights a year.
Yeah, that's right.
For what, last 40 years?
Oh, yeah.
At least. It used to be special. Okay, now they do them every night.
I think
Every night.
Disney bought whatever firework
No,
brand that
that's
was.
right. They make their own fireworks.
Yeah, now they're.
This camp I used to work at, we'd have fireworks 3 times a week for the different themed nights or whatever. So it was a lot of fireworks going on there.
Were your fireworks able to fire in the fog? Because
Like heat-seeking missiles?
There was not a lot of fog there.
They go to the chief firework officer at Disneyland. Hey, foggy night. Don't worry about it.
we're good.
We're good.
Launch.
Exactly.
Yeah. I
Get 'em
picture
up
them
there.
in the submarine with the 2 keys. They got to turn them at the same time.
Like it's a nuclear weapon.
Exactly. You got to activate
The guy had the fireworks company. It's like, well, here's the invoice. They're like, we're going to go ahead and just own this now. Thank you for your
And
time.
the drones, we program them once and they work every time.
That's it.
Yeah, but it's not the same as fire.
It's like a sprinkler system.
It's amazing.
Trav, that's what it's going to be. It's literally going to be like a sprinkler system. It goes on at 6 a.m. in the morning. The
You
drones
could
are
do
just
it a
going to go up
couple
on
of
their own.
times too,
Yeah.
right? And you don't have to worry about all the fireworks. Just drone show at 7, drone show at 10, drone show at midnight. Let's go.
One drone is down. Get the new one up.
Yeah, occasionally got to replace a light bulb. Just there you go, Disneyland. You're welcome. You can have it.
light bulb.
The Dump is coming up next. It's Travis Slee, 710 ESPN. If you get hurt in an accident, call Sweet James. I know I say it a lot because it's important. It's important that you know the number, and it's important that you make the call. 1-800-9-MILLION. 1-800-900-0000 because you want a firm like Sweet James that has experience. Sweet James, 20 years, multiple attorneys. You're talking decades of experience. You want a winning record helping injured victims get the medical care that they need with life-changing settlements. And that's what they do at Sweet James day after day after day. Not taking what's offered, but by getting you what you deserve, getting you what's right. And if that's a settlement, great. And if it's not, they go to trial, and that's where they win 98% of the time. So if you're hurt in a car accident, a motorcycle accident, a truck accident, a dog bite, call the accident attorneys at Sweet James. 1-800-900-0000. I've called. My friends and family have called. If you're hurt in an accident, you need to call. SweetJames.com, 1-800-9-MILLION. That's 1-800-900-0000.
Hey, it's Corporate Greg.
Not only is it Randy Newman's birthday, who we talked about just a few minutes ago, it's also comedian Jon Stewart's birthday, who, for my money, is about as funny as it gets. I think he is just, and he's not like a classic stand-up. You went and saw him, didn't you?
Yeah,
Em?
I saw him in stand-up. So it was John Mulaney and Jon Stewart together
right.
for stand-up, and it was at the Pasadena Civic Center.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. I think it was really funny and enjoyable. But I had never seen him again do stand-up. He was just doing. I seen it on the Daily Show, but he was pretty good.
Was it like John Mulaney is a stand-up?
Yes.
And that's he Richard Pryor, George Carlin, stand-up comedians, right? I think of Jon Stewart more as a talk show host like Letterman, who's just incredibly fun. I know Letterman did stand-up too, but was it stand-up-y, if that's a way to do it?
Yeah, it was still stand-up-y. He still had his things to do. I think he came from stand-up originally. He was still really good.
He also has done what he can to raise awareness on a lot of different things as well.
Yeah.
I know 9/11 victims. That's been a big one. He has
veterans
gone up to to face Congress and certain things. I mean, he's done things outside of how great he's been on the Daily Show and everything else. He's done some.
He has a good bit about this is from his stand-up, but he has a good bit about his adult son. He said he was meeting with some veterans who had just been in Afghanistan and were fighting, and same age as his son. And then his son, he goes home and his son says, "Hey Dad, make me a bagel." And he's like, "The bagels are made / you can use your own legs to go downstairs." And anyway, he's very funny, but he has things that he really truly cares about.
That hits a little too close to home, Em. I'm not gonna lie. That's a little bit.
Unless you have one of my bagels that I did make.
By the way, did you try her bagel, Slee?
I did not.
Jorge, did you get into it?
I did with cheese and
pretty
top.
good.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, pretty.
A little salty.
She's like a chef.
She's like, "Oh, these are a little salty." I didn't get the salty bit. Pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good.
I like how she pointed that out to me too. Like she wanted to just give everyone a heads up that if you think it's too salty, but you said it was good.
It was delicious. It is National French Toast Day.
Okay.
I'm never ordering it.
Okay.
If it's
Okay.
there, I eat it.
This is a very good conversation because if I go to a breakfast spot, and I have the option of got waffles, I have French toast, I have pancakes, I have eggs and bacon or whatever it is. I'm getting French toast last. That's last on my list.
I'm with you, Al.
That's last on my list.
Yeah.
Nah,
You're a French toast guy?
French toast first, pancake second.
Really?
Waffle last.
Oh, no, waffles first for me. You know why? Because they got the little cups that collect the
it's
melted
great.
butter and syrup and
those are
whatever
good.
else you want to throw on there.
Bag of waffle is number one.
Stuffed French toast, when you cut into it, there's strawberries in it. Oh, that's delicious.
Okay.
Right there.
You have my
Stuffed
attention.
French toast, that's it.
The French toast, this is much like my sandwich theory that I have, that the sandwich, the success of whatever sandwich you're about to have is 80% based on whether the bread is good or not.
French toast is all bread.
That's it. But I know my mom used to make it with stale bread, right? That's what you would use stale bread with, and that's what you would use.
Do you want stale bread? Yes, Mom.
But if you take a good French baguette and slice it kind of thick and really cover it with the egg batter, I'm talking myself into French toast, Slee.
Cinnamon and vanilla. Yes.
We're gonna skip the cinnamon in the Rogers household.
That's right.
But the vanilla and all of those other things, and then we're gonna slice little strawberries, maybe some raspberries on there, Slee.
Well, I got the recipe down.
I gotta be honest, the way you described that, it's the
can't be a piece of Wonder Bread that's been stale for 7 years and run through some egg wash. You got to take your time.
Stuffing.
Yeah, stuffing.
They have these thick slices of bread that I buy, artisan bread. It's thick slices. We make French toast with that. Oh, it's delicious. My man.
Here's
I want to go to Jorge's.
This is another story that I have on the dump here, but Cardinals linebacker Jesse Luketa suffered a flat tire on the way to the game on Sunday in Arizona, and then some Cardinals fans on the way to State Farm Stadium scooped him up and drove him to the stadium. Jesse later confirmed it on Twitter. That is quite the story. You know, say you're driving to SoFi and you see someone with a flat tire. 1, do you help them? 2, it could be Aaron Donald.
Cooper, get the hell in the car. Let's go. We got a game
all,
coming up.
Of the guys on the Rams, and I follow the Rams pretty closely, just if they were on the side of the road, there aren't 5 guys that I would recognize going by at full speed. I'd recognize Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford.
Puka.
Mm-hmm. We done?
So big.
Yeah, that's about
Is
it.
that? I put it this way.
And McVay.
And McVay.
Yeah.
If Kyren Williams were on the side of the road, I'm driving right past him. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know him. Ben Skoranek, sorry, buddy. See ya.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks for you. My tires are fine. Vroom, right by him. But That's pretty great.
Havenstein, you could probably recognize Havenstein.
I would
'cause he's so
recognize
big.
him because he's huge, and I've interviewed him a few times, so
Yeah.
I've sat with him.
I love how the story, actually I don't love it, but I love how it says suffered. So right instantly I'm like, oh, he got injured. No, he suffered a flat tire.
That is a drag, by the way.
Flat tire?
It's the only thing I can do on my car is change my own tire. That's about it.
But it
Okay,
is
but you
like
still
the
do that
most
even
annoying.
having AAA. Do you still do that? Do you still
Yeah,
change your own tire?
because I can do it faster than the time.
Yeah.
AAA, if we did a race, they'd dust me, but by the time they get there
Yeah.
and get to wherever it is that I'm stuck, yeah.
Well, sometimes it takes 2 hours to get your
It can
flat.
take a while.
There
from
was
AAA.
on Sunday, kind of randomly, there was a car parked in the parking lot, and it's towing another car. So it's got kind of like the bed, and it's towing another car. The tow has a flat tire.
The trailer?
The trailer has a flat tire. So, like, my mind was blown. I'm like, how? There's so many tires right now, and yet the one tire they need, the most important, can't go.
Did
Can't
I tell you,
operate.
did I tell you guys the story the last time I had to call AAA? This was a month or so ago, where my son Michael lost the keys to his car.
Okay.
And he had already lost the backup to the key. So now this is it. It's
so
gone.
it's like you losing your new suit and your old suit.
Yes, exactly. There's no keys to the car.
Okay.
And he thinks this is during football season. He thinks he left them. They were playing at Portola High School, and he thinks he left them in the locker room. He thinks, but I don't know. So, and like, so how would you like to go about rectifying this situation? I don't know. What do you do? I'm like, well, you call AAA and you tell them I don't have a key to this car. This guy came out. He was awesome. He was there in 20 minutes the next day. He rekeyed the entire car in 15 minutes.
Really?
It was unbelievable how fast he could do it. He's like, you want me to make you a few spares? I'm like, yeah. How much do they cost? He tells me, I'm like, I'll take 4. Because instead of teaching the kid a lesson, I'm just going to
hold
stash
3 keys.
I'm just going to stash a bunch of keys along the way. Panthers owner David Tepper said that this is what he's looking for in a new head coach. I would like someone to be here 20, 30 years. I'd like to have somebody say the eulogy at my funeral in 30 years. Okay, maybe 40 years. Hilarious, David Tepper. Dude, you can't start talking about you want to coach for 30 or 40 years when you're firing guys a year or two into their tenure. And it's not just his football coaches. We talked about it yesterday. He's fired 2 MLS head coaches as well. He fires people before they can even figure out where the coffee pot in the office is. You're not going to get a guy that's been there for 20 years when you didn't even give your next guy a full season.
Ron Rivera, Perry Fowell, Matt Rule, Steve Wilkes, Frank Reich.
Okay, Steve Wilkes. Let's pause on Steve Wilkes
gosh,
for a
look how
second.
many, and that's in literally 4 years. Yeah.
So they fire the guy from Baylor. Tell me this now. I'm forgetting his name right now. The guy that's now the coach at Nebraska, Matt Rule.
Okay.
So they fire Matt Rule early last season. They give Steve Wilkes, who's a former NFL head coach, they say, hey, you're the interim coach. Guess what happened? They started to win games. They started to put together a functioning NFL team. They fire him or don't give him the full-time job to bring in Frank Reich, who lasts 11 games. You actually had a guy that was getting some try. I'm not saying
He was
Steve
6-6.
Wilkes. That's what, for Carolina?
Yeah.
That's like being 402.
Well, I think what he meant at his eulogy, he's going to have 15 different coaches there, former coaches,
Paul Bears,
that are all going to have a speech for him.
Yeah, I have a feeling I know what they're going to say. Usually this would be a big topic because it doesn't happen all that often, but with Russell Westbrook, it does happen pretty frequently. He got into a, what should we say, a confrontation, a disagreement.
A shouting match.
A shouting match,
yeah.
that's good, with a fan last night. And he did the Russell Westbrook thing that we've heard before. You're not going to disrespect me. You don't get to say whatever you want to me. I need to make an example for my kids. He's not wrong, but it just seems that Russell Westbrook versus obnoxious fan is a once or twice a season story for the last several seasons, and I'm just kind of over it at this point.
So that's what he said. He said, it's unfortunate today fans can say whatever they want. I'm just protecting myself. Personally, I won't allow it. I won't stand for it. You said something I think is the right thing. He's not wrong in what he believes. He's not wrong that fans shouldn't be able to just mouth off and say, be disrespectful, say something about your family. We were talking about this yesterday with Kawhi and Popovich. Popovich telling Spurs fans, stop booing. If you're just booing, you can boo. if you're saying things personal about somebody's family, I get it. Not a good look. It's no one's going to condone it. But don't you think he's just adding more attention to? I don't think it's going to change. I think what you might get is you might get more people, more fans out there to say, wait a minute, I could get under his skin that easily and that quick. And it doesn't have to happen in LA at Crypto. It could happen in their next road trip to Philly. It could happen in Philly. It could happen in Denver. It could happen anywhere.
It's what he doesn't understand is confronting a jerk does not make other jerks back up. It emboldens them even more.
Yeah.
Because now they're going to get what they want. That if you react to a knucklehead, and anybody that's doing that is a knucklehead, well, the next knucklehead's even more excited because he knows that you're going to respond to his knuckleheadedness. And it's the vicious cycle. I'm not saying it's easy to walk away or even the right thing to do to walk away, but he's constantly involved in these sorts of moments.
It's like the fourth or fifth time I've heard of like Westbrook and a fan. And I'm like, you have to learn how to ignore that. Like, I don't
Everybody
know.
else seems
I
to
was going to
ignore
say
it.
it's got to be happening to other players.
Of course
right?
it does.
Yeah.
But we don't hear about it because they walk away from it.
Right. Yeah, I don't get it. Why does he bristle the way he does?
It's the equivalent of a Twitter troll.
Yes.
Like every once in a while, like 1 out of 1,000 will get through.
Right.
And poke me enough to where I want to respond to them. Like,
do you do it?
Mace was there the last time I did.
Oh,
it,
yeah.
And I used to always respond to them publicly, and now I DM them.
Yep.
And I make it personal with them. I go, I'm very surprised that a person with your profile photo, a father, you're clearly a girl dad and whatever, right, like this. And the other guy was like, he was like in the business. He
Right. Oh,
described
no, he was
himself
like
as,
one of us. Yeah.
like
what was his response?
Didn't respond.
Didn't respond.
Yeah.
Chicken.
Coward.
Yeah, what an idiot.
Yeah. Chicken bleep.
I do actually. I like that you're responding directly to them.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to like make a thing out of
No.
it. I don't want to give you the satisfaction of getting into your.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But I like literally, it's once every 4 or 5 months I'll do that.
Yeah.
Well, and in the moment, it feels kind of good to let it go.
It
But
does.
then right afterwards, you're like, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, no, I always think I shouldn't. If I respond, I always like, oh God, why did I
do block people.
respond?
I do block.
You know
block
what's
or you
better?
mute?
Don't even give them. That's it.
Yeah.
So block, they know they're blocked.
I know, but I
Mute
still don't want to
is
hear
just,
from them again.
But you won't. If you,
You
mute
won't
them, they're
if you
gone.
mute 'em.
They're gone. You'll never see
I
it
actually
again.
want them to know they're blocked.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. You're
I want them to know that
sending a
wasn't
stern
cool.
message.
I don't want the
Yeah.
I don't want them to have the satisfaction knowing they got to the point of me where I had to block. I do
Correct.
remove you from my life. I'm just going to turn you off. You're not going to know it.
Yeah.
And I don't have to
I'm
see
straight
it.
up
Yeah.
Matumbo with the finger whack.
Yeah.
I'm like, like I like it.
I like it.
It's like kind of empowered. That's my like feeling of power. Get off my lawn.
Let's do a little Supercross talk.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles.
KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Mason and Ireland to join Travis and Slee?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk presented by In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out. That's what a hamburger is all about.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Did you steal your cutout?
No, I didn't steal my
You didn't
cutout.
steal your
No.
cutout. Okay.
So we all have cutouts. I've not seen mine. I don't know where it is.
I remember
What would
seeing
I
it.
do with a cutout of me at my house?
Just
Do you
destroy
have a
it.
cutout of
Put it
you?
right next to your bed and stare at it all night long.
That's what the mirror on the ceiling's for. So, no, I think that we've all got uncomfortable looking. Like, I have a vest on in my cutout. And I'm
Okay.
like, the vest thing is not a thing anymore.
So not.
No.
We've moved past. Now, what do you, this is my new
That's
sweater.
your
What do you-
Shannon Sharp.
This is my
That
Shannon
is a
Sharp
little
sweater.
Shannon Sharpie.
That's
Yeah.
what I was going for.
Yeah.
It's from my designer, Emma Sohn.
Okay.
Yeah, they do the best stuff.
Do they?
Yeah. They have a website.
What's it called?
Amazon.com. Amazon.com.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Nice.
Never heard of it.
Never
Is
heard
it
of it?
Trusted?
It is very trusted, yes. Very trusted.
All right.
I hear that they're flourishing.
Yes, they're doing
they're
well.
doing okay.
They're doing all
They're
right.
doing okay.
Slee's out of the eliminator pool.
I know!
What happened? Who
I
took
screwed
you
up.
down?
Yeah.
No, I screwed up.
Josh Dobbs took him out.
Yeah.
Minnesota
You know,
yesterday.
isn't
The
that so
Astro.
sad?
What is he?
Like-
The Astro Man?
Yeah.
Is that what they call him? The Astro Man?
Yeah, because he's got a degree in like
Oh, really?
astrophysics from Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah.
All
no,
right.
he's like
Well, like,
literal rocket
is-
science.
His literally the fastest rise and fall I have seen in quite some time. Today, O'Connell non-committal about Dobbs starting going.
They call it the pass. What they
or not?
Faster too?
No.
Or not.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. That's what it is.
No, it went
That's
from
a good day for Juan yesterday. This week, 4 people out. There's
I
only
know.
4 left.
I know. And Juan is one of 4 people left now.
Willie
Wow.
Hackett. Willie cut.
Will chop.
Yeah, okay.
He'll
But
chop.
don't you think
Yeah.
there's always going to be one person that says, no, let's keep riding?
Yes, always.
Keep riding.
Always.
Always that one.
But you good the board. Jacksonville at home versus Cincinnati. It's an 8-point spread. Cincinnati's
Does the
backup
spread
quarterback.
matter in your pool?
No, but they're favorites.
It's good because Jacksonville's competing for that top seed overall,
Yes.
so they're going to have their foot on the gas.
Yeah.
They're competing for a division championship. They're competing for the number 1 seed. I like that. And Jake Browning still is in the quarterback position for the
pride
Dogs.
of UW, I think, right?
Yeah. Well, they had the run back of the Apple Cup the other day.
Yeah, that's right.
Minshew and Browning, the Cincinnati Indy game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried going back on the Survivor pool, and they're like, it's over, bro. You don't have any other.
Yeah, they can find another player.
Yeah, you're locked out.
Yeah.
Find a new hobby.
But Juan is so excited. My
I would be
mom made
excited.
it.
Good
My
for
mom
him.
made it 10 weeks. Juan has now made it through 12.
Well,
I've never
good
gone
for him.
past like 4 or 5. I always
that-
get eliminated early.
Usually 2 or 3, more than half the pool's gone.
Yeah.
And by 6 or 7,
Because early
you're down
on,
to
there's a lot of
couple
upsets.
handfuls.
There's a lot of teams that you thought were good.
Yeah, you don't know yet.
The first couple of weeks are a nightmare because it's the NFL. Teams that you think are going to be good are terrible, and teams that you think are okay. I remember picking against. I would always pick Arizona early.
Yeah,
right.
And I got super lucky. They beat the Cowboys in like week 3.
Right, right.
And I just was not on it that week because I picked something
Right.
else. But that's how you get eliminated.
Yeah,
from that stuff.
it's the weird. The survivor pools are interesting because they actually get easier as they go along.
You get fewer options.
You get fewer options, but you also know who the good teams are and who the really bad teams are.
Right.
You don't necessarily know week 1, 2, 3 who's really good and who's really
the
bad.
best way to win a survivor pool, not that I ever have, is to figure
Thank
out
you
who
for
the,
this sage advice
no, this
from
is
a
good
non-winner.
advice. Yeah, from a non-winner. It's the theory I think is good, is to figure out who the worst team in the league is and pick against them every week.
Yeah, it's good.
See,
I did that against Chicago.
Picking against Arizona, against
for
Carolina.
weeks, and then I ran into Chicago and Minnesota.
Yeah, you just got to know when to
and by the
hold
way,
them and when to fold them.
Minnesota losing last night's great for the Rams too.
Sure is.
I'm rooting against
It
Minnesota,
sure is.
rooting against Green Bay, rooting.
You know,
Seattle.
this graphic they put up there, in the hunt.
And they're not even at the
I'm
bottom
like, how
of
are
the
they
hunt.
in the hunt?
Could
Believe
be
it or
in a
not.
playoff spot. I heard the
I
Rams
can't believe
report.
it.
They
By
could be in
Sunday.
a playoff spot by Sunday.
I mean, what happened?
They beat Seattle twice is what happened. That's the short
Yeah,
answer.
you're right.
It was
Because
crazy. I was like, in the hunt? How did that? I thought they were tanking.
It's the 6-6.
And the Seahawks
But what
are
you said
6
about
and
And
what
the
you
Seahawks
said
are
about the
6-6.
Seahawks, you're right. You're
the
100%
Seahawks,
right. Those
their
2
next,
wins.
the Seahawks have already lost 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Here's their next 3: Dallas, Philly, San Francisco.
Bam,
They're
bam,
going to
bam.
lose all 3 of those games.
Guns.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
just about done.
And even if we tied with them, we would have the
You have the
tiebreaker.
tiebreaker. Green Bay, oddly, is the weird one because you lose the tiebreaker
Yes.
head-to-head there, and you look at Green Bay's schedule, they've got a lot of very winnable games.
Although
there.
Kansas City's going to whoop them this week.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. But that's just one. They've got
Boy,
the
I
Bears,
regret
they got
that
the
game.
Vikings.
I regret that game so much. I don't know why. This is a spot where the Rams did not invest in a
Never
real
have.
backup quarterback. We went out there with Brett Rippon at Green Bay and was just overwhelmed by the entire experience.
the
They
worst
went out
game
and
of the
signed
year.
Carson Wentz after this
A week
loss.
too late.
But had we had him, I think we would have had a shot
This
in
is
Green
not
Bay.
unlike 2 years ago when the season Matthew Stafford gets hurt.
Yep.
You go to Wolford, there's nothing there. They even tried Bryce Perkins, less there, and they finally said, "Hey, we got to go do something." Mayfield came in, and as bad as the Rams were last year, Baker Mayfield was 2-3.
Right.
Yeah.
On a team that only won 5 games, he went 2-3.
And by the way, had the highlight of the year.
no
The
question about
Raiders
it.
game was the highlight of the year.
No one's saying that Carson Wentz and Baker Mayfield are all pro, but they're NFL competent. And your backup it needs to be Gardner Minshew competency level or better, right?
By the way, Baker's having a really good year.
He's fine
in Tampa.
He's exactly what you would hope to have in your backup quarterback, and probably not what you want as your
starting quarterback. Yeah,
right? Isn't that kind of the line?
Yeah, that's basically it. That's basically it.
So identifying the good and the bad teams, which the Lakers aren't bad, but are they one of the good teams after seeing what we saw last night? It's just a bad night.
I think that's an absolutely terrible matchup for them.
Just a bad night?
I think they have no one who it's a bad night, and they also have no one who can hang with Embiid at all. Like
Why can't Anthony Davis hang with Embiid?
Embiid's probably
Is he really defensive player of the year or in that category if you can't find a way to slow down Joel Embiid?
Yeah, well, nobody can slow him down.
He's not.
I almost said slow him down.
Slow L.
Slow L. They I don't. Here's the thing about Embiid. It's the same problem that you have when you play against Jokic.
Yep.
As we watch the replay on Spectrum Sports
here. It's even better the second time.
It's
only 2 I think we got a shot.
These guys, like Embiid and Jokic are not your traditional centers. They are away from the basket, pick and roll,
stretch
pick
guys,
and pop,
yeah.
stretch. They pass. Like
Embiid had 11 assists.
I know. It was a 30-point triple-double. And so for a center, and usually when you see that, it's for blocks. Nope. It was rebounds and assists. So on the show yesterday, I on the TV show where I put the makeup on and stuff.
Yeah. Dress up.
I made up a word. I think he's actually being a little Jokic-y this year. Like he's playing a little more like Jokic because he's got
Embiid. You're talking about. Yeah.
He's playing the same way Jokic does, where he's facilitating. He's running. They're running the offense through him because last year they had to run it through Harden. Like Harden was the center and he was the system, right?
I am the system.
Maxey is a different kind of point guard. He's kind of a change of pace guy. He's quick and fast and gets out in transition. So that they don't have anybody to stop that. You saw that in the playoffs. The only guy that really did, there was 2 guys. Rui did a pretty good job out there. Rui's out with a nasal fracture. And Tristan Thompson.
Yeah.
Because Tristan was big and could foul him and kind of move around a lot.
But if those are the type of players that you're running into, you're talking about Embiid, you're talking about Jokic, you're talking about Giannis, these sorts of guys.
Well, Giannis is a different animal. They actually can kind of defend Giannis a little better than those 2 guys.
But if you're going to have to run into a high level, an A+ big guy at some point, if you're going to go to win an NBA championship, is it just a fatal flaw? Is there no getting around it? Is there there's nothing
that's
they can
what
do?
They got. Christian Wood, Jackson Hayes, Rui, big dudes who can, like
a lot of length.
There's 2 strategies to dealing with big guys like that. One is you rough them up. That's the Tristan Thompson, Dwight Howard. You got 6 fouls. Make sure you use them.
Beat them up. Yeah.
Yeah. Just force them to call a foul on every play. If you hope you last as long as you can. Give us 20 good minutes. And that's one strategy. And the other is to go with a guy like Rui, who's, 6'8", 6'9", big,
little
strong,
undersized,
but he's quick and he can move around him in front of him and frustrate him. Well, they don't have any of those guys, and the 2 guys they were hoping would do that really didn't.
Yeah,
like Christian Wood and Jackson Hayes.
Well, what he was
those
saying,
were nopes.
Yeah, it's the loss by 44. Because yesterday we're doing the show and we're talking about not a bad stretcher. They won 7 of 9. They're not perfect.
Hey, Lakers
games.
+6. I put some mythical money on it.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Hopefully
Is that
not
what
much.
it was? +6.
10K. Yeah, a lot of mythical money.
You know what? You just got a little caught up.
Yeah, I did. I got a little caught up. Hey, let me get out of this for a second because we're going to do plenty of that. So answer me this. I looked in the mirror today. And I have got gray hairs in my eyebrows.
Oh, okay.
Now, this apparently is not visible to other people.
I see it.
Do
Now
you
that
see
you
it?
say it?
But it's visible to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like,
You do something about that.
Do you dye your eyebrows?
Do I?
No, do
or do
people? Do people?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
There are eyebrow artists.
Well, I don't need.
No.
I just need it to be one color.
Yes, they're like.
We number 5.
Like sort of a let me set you up.
I can't tell. Can you tell?
Yeah, he saw it.
I can
You
see it.
Yeah.
So you can you don't have to dye them, but you can go to one of these people who they shape your eyebrows.
I don't want to go through all that.
Seems like a lot of
yes,
work.
you
I'm just
do.
going to get to just for men and smear it on my face and hope for the
that
best.
Looks terrible. Would you just take a marker, like a permanent marker, and just?
What about Ramona? Would this work? Because I see Susan sometimes take the little what's the thing you use on your eyelashes? Mascara.
Mascara.
Yes, there you go. They call those brow pen.
Okay, is that what that is? Get a brow pencil.
Brow
maybe.
gel.
I have some mascara. You want me to do that?
Or do I just not care?
Or you could do what I do when I'm driving home and I see one of the white ones. You just yank it out.
Yeah, I'm not putting that brush of dark stuff on my face.
But
Don't care.
Do you want to see it?
Slee says don't worry about it.
Should we try it?
No, we should not. I don't want
Do it.
to have my eyebrows painted. Do it. Do it.
Good.
You know what? If I do it right now, it will just see if it works, and then if you don't like
It's
it, you can
subtle,
wash
man.
it
Oh,
off
God,
in the
It's
rinse.
going to be
subtle look.
the entire show on
Yeah.
YouTube. Okay, let's
Come
go
on.
ahead. Do it.
All right, hook him up.
Couldn't do it.
Let's see, very gently. Should he close his eyes, Ramona?
Oh.
No.
Oh, no.
You know what you don't want to hear when somebody's doing that?
Oh,
no.
That part was good.
Now it looks like you got punched.
No, that part I just messed up that one spot.
Take that off. It comes off in
It
no
comes
time.
off. It's okay.
I'm waiting for her
Okay.
to lick a finger,
This is good.
Mace,
like
look
a
at me.
mother
How's
and
it
a
look?
child.
I gotta fix that part.
Not good.
no,
Travis says
Just
not
that
good.
side. Just because of that side. The
damn.
left
It's
side
too.
looks good.
It's
Left
too
side
dark.
looks good.
Too dark.
Because you have your hair is light.
Yeah, my hair is light.
It
Right.
looks ridiculous, quite frankly.
Oh, damn. Here, Ramona was going to fix me.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, that's horrible.
Well, she got
This
there's
eyebrow
a
is-
line.
this
that
eyebrow
one-
is
She's got to
so
fix
thick.
that.
That one got a
She's
little.
got to fix the
that
one, but
got
it's
a
too
little-
dark. Would you not
it
agree?
it looks like a clown.
It's okay. Just wipe it off.
Mama's wiping it off now.
All right.
Let's see.
Hold on. Look back at me, Mace.
Okay. Ready?
It's like a mother with her child.
Travis says
Get
no.
over here. Let me fix the hair for you.
Yeah, that is too dark. Oh, God. And now I've got that the entire
You
show.
need to get. You got a nice long break at some point. Get in the bathroom.
No,
and
it's
wash
like
that
this
off.
is what Heath Ledger did when he was playing Batman. Drew big, crazy
Yeah,
eyebrows
You
on
know,
his face.
I could go get some,
Why so serious?
I could go get some.
That's about right. I'm gonna let Ramona compose herself.
Yes.
Super Crosstalk is brought to you by